I'm trying to like.
We'll just do intro
Intro
time.
time.
Do we just make one right here
We
on
don't
the spot?
have a name for the podcast, do we?
We're
I have one.
starting
Okay,
Kind of,
yeah.
but-
We are the main characters.
the podcast right now.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode. It's been a long time of 99% Distracted, a podcast brought to you by the Paperless Society. Today, I am joined with my brother Seth,
Yo, yo.
my
That's me.
friends River
Hello.
and Trey.
Hello.
Today is a bit of a looser episode. This is the first episode recording since we went on our multiple-year hiatus from 99% Distracted. But we're back. We're rebranding. We're changing up the cast a bit.
We're just better.
Hoping for it to be a more regular thing, a bi-weekly, hopefully, podcast that we can put out for everybody. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've done this, so we're a bit out of practice.
Since you've done this.
Yeah, I'm the only
We're all
one
new.
really that's
Yeah, we're new to
done
this.
podcasting so far. So, yeah, it's a bit of a learning experience today, but it's going to be a hectic episode, and I'm here for it. I'm all here for it.
Nice.
So, I kind of wanted to start off this episode similar to kind of how we started off the very first episode that I did originally with Chris, Jake, and Silas. The first kind of topic that we sort of went into was kind of going in a little bit of a description of how we met, which obviously you and I
Shall I
grew
go
up
first?
together. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can go first. Sort of how you met the other people at the podcast, and then
Well,
kind of, just so people know.
I've probably known you for as long as I can functionally live.
Yeah,
I could say. I think my parents introduced me to your parents probably a couple seconds after I was born.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I honestly
very
think I
early.
remember that. Yeah. Wow, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
I actually think
I expected like a serious answer.
this is a serious answer. He's
Yeah, I don't.
being 100%
I,
serious.
it's like so long I don't even remember it. I just know that's how it happened.
Kind of same. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of just like one of those things where like I've just known you. You kind of were just always there. Like I don't really remember meeting you or like being
Right.
introduced
There.
to you. But yeah, no, I kind of you were just always there at my house for some reason.
Yep.
Which was very strange. But yeah.
Yep.
You just kind of been at my house as long as I can remember. As I've known you your whole life, actually, which is
True.
very interesting. But yeah,
I probably have a couple minutes to an hour of you not knowing me.
probably, yeah. I think probably a couple hours. I would
Probably,
say.
yeah.
Probably a few hours.
I don't know how long
before my dad
people go
went
home
to
after
introduce
having-
me to your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he's my youngest brother. So, yeah, cool. And do you remember how you met these guys? Because
Yeah.
our
Trey?
stories are probably quite a bit different.
I remember how I met
That's right.
Trey the first time. Okay, so I remember, was it 7th grade? Or
It would be earlier because it was Patriot soccer.
was it Patriot?
Yeah, it was Patriot.
I don't remember, because it was early. I remember you joined the soccer team.
I joined
But
later.
were you the kid that people also remembered from like kindergarten and preschool, or was that a
Yes, I
different kid?
was.
Yeah. So like, I joined when you joined the soccer team way back when we were, I don't know, like 13 years old, something like that. Younger.
Yeah, probably younger.
There were
Wow.
I don't know if I knew you from before, but there are definitely other kids on the team that recognized you from before.
Yeah, you probably didn't because you went to Gray. While I went
Makes
to
sense, yeah.
Gloucester, yeah.
That's
Um,
crazy. Wait, so you guys first met that long ago?
So we met back in
I
soccer.
don't know if I knew that.
And then
I did.
after that, like I aged out a Patriot, whatever. And
Yeah.
then we didn't talk or even really see each other
Nope.
until.
Like a couple of years without.
Did you do?
I don't even think we talked
Were
to each other
we-
while we were playing soccer.
We met after your freshman year, though. Yeah. Because I think it was like
Mine, yeah, 'cause
sometime
we
in my
went back into soccer. Mainly just soccer.
Did we go back into soccer knowing each other?
We knew of each other. We didn't know each other. Like
Right. Well, yeah, because we had been on the same soccer team years
Yeah.
ago. But then your dad talked to Ethan about running a little D&D one shot,
Yeah.
and then Trey went to that,
Yep.
and Ethan invited me and our father, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I know Trey. He was on my soccer team
Right.
way back. Like I didn't
remember
even,
that, yeah.
I didn't remember what he was even like. I just remember like I knew him back in the day on my soccer team.
Like what he looked like, basically.
yeah,
That's funny. Yeah, sort of going into the kind of jumping off of that as well. And you meeting River was
from
also from D&D.
D&D when
I
you
would-
got brought in.
Say like, yeah, I would say the first time we actually like met was D&D, but I'd seen Seth since like 3rd or 4th grade. I knew
Mhm.
of him.
Yeah, I didn't. That's
I
not
only knew
mutual.
him because he was
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. He was a younger classman, so I don't know. You don't ever know the younger classmen,
And
but you
the
always
funniest
know the
thing
upper
was,
classmen.
So
Yep.
we had one
So-
we had like one interaction last year during the school year. We were like all both up in the library, and we like both went to the trash can. And we were like, hey,
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Last
I
year,
saw
Seth
you
was
a lot,
in my
but-
class,
Yeah, no.
and we didn't talk a
we
single
saw him.
word.
I saw him
Bro,
quite a bit.
okay, I wasn't about to talk to you in that English class because you didn't want to be there, and I knew it.
I wanted to leave.
I
that
know,
class.
so I didn't want to just go up and start talking to you because I knew you were like in your own space doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, so kind of jumping off what you had said before about like, Bill talking to me, Trey's dad, about, the little D&D one shot. It was actually funny because I met Trey through Bill, because when we were sort of setting up across the street over at my mother-in-law's house, we were setting up that little shed for Dora and I to live in after Lily was born.
Yeah, that's a thing now.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
that's true. Kind of filling.
It's been that long ago.
It has been that long.
That's been a
I knew
thing.
that.
Yeah, it has been that long.
That's a new
You have a
subject.
kid
Right,
and you're
that's
married
true.
now.
That is true. Yeah, I do have a lovely daughter and a lovely wife.
I don't know about the wife.
God.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think most people probably know like a couple of like the kids from the middle school that listen to from
Some of
the
them
high school.
The
Some of them
middle
might
school.
not.
That listened to it knew about it because I've run into a couple like Robbie,
Mhm.
but the other kids probably don't know because they most likely got off at college and stuff now and haven't seen me since. So yeah, if they ever come back to listen to this, that might be a bit of a bombshell for them. But yeah, so when we were kind of like fixing up, my mother-in-law's shed for to be like a little mini home for the three of us. Very early stages, like when we were like ripping a bunch of stuff down, so pulling nails and whatever, and a bunch of that stuff.
Fun stuff.
Yep.
Your dad was over there. He was over there like doing some work or whatever, and Dora brought me over to introduce me to him. And he was like up on a ladder pulling stuff down, whatever, from like the rafters and stuff, pulling out a bunch of staples and whatever. And he was in the process of kind of doing like a couple jobs all at once. And so when I showed up, I was like, hey there, like shook his hand, whatever. And I don't remember the very first thing that he said to me. Like it wasn't like, he was like, like, hey, nice to meet you, whatever, blah. And then he made some sort of a joke to like, take care of Dora or whatever, or like, like take care of my daughter, whatever, even because, he almost is like a father figure to her. And it is funny because minutes later he's like, hey, could you pull some of these things, the staples or whatever for me? I was like, yeah, totally fine. So he could go do one of the other jobs. And I climb up onto the ladder, and like minutes after I met Bill, I climb up on the ladder, and he like looks at my butt and turns to Dora, and he's like, yeah, I see why you picked him. He's got a nice ass. Like minutes after. And I instantly, like, I think it was one of those things where like I understood. I was like, oh, this is this guy's sense of humor. And knowing Jake, that's like our sense of humor as well. And so I kind of like turned to him, and I can't remember what I said, but I can't remember what I said, but I kind of like took that energy and like tossed it back to him, and literally from then we clicked and like became really good friends, which is very strange to think. Like high school me would have thought that it would have been very strange that I'm friends with like a 51-year-old man,
Right.
or maybe even older.
Good 80.
Good
80.
He's like what? 51,
Wow.
52?
He's what? Like
he's like my dad's age.
Why don't we get him on
51?
the podcast?
Are you, Bill? 54.
Wow.
There you go.
That's yeah.
He's like ancient.
You look younger than I thought, Bill. Do you remember that
He
though,
looks
Bill?
older than I thought.
Yeah, it was like minutes after I met you. You complimented my butt. Yeah.
Oh, he remembers.
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
All right.
How could
He
I
does that with
forget?
everyone
How
he
could I forget
meets.
that? No, that I always find that so funny though. Like I remember telling one of my coworkers because I was talking about that whole sort of like taboo of like having friends that are like much older than you, but when you become an adult, that kind of disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was telling her about how
Cool.
one of my friends is much older than me, but it's really cool because he has a lot of like wisdom and insight into things that I'm about to kind of go through, like the steps of life that I'm kind of about to go into. But it was very funny explaining to her how we met.
Yeah, right.
And she was like, "Oh, I know guys just like him, knows the type." And,
Yeah.
and she thought it was very funny. But yeah,
But
kind
then
of.
how did you meet Trey after that?
Yeah, through that, sort of like becoming friends with Bill and whatever, I was kind of sharing him with my hobbies and passions and stuff like that. And I think D&D ended up coming up at one point. And he sort of was like, "That's awesome. I used to play first edition back when I was like in middle school, high
Way
school."
back in the day.
And yeah, kind of we just had a conversation about it one day, sort of off of that, and then like randomly on his own, he decided to actually go and buy that beginner's set, the one that has the Dragon of Icespire Peak adventure in it. And then he asked, he's like, "Hey, could you run this thing for me?" Because I was also filling him in a little bit on Dad's campaign when it was just you and me, Jonah and Silas and Isaac were actually playing still at that point too. And I was kind of filling him in a little bit onto the fun little things or whatever on that. And I think that was way before they joined, because they played for like maybe a few months, like probably good 5-6 months before you guys joined my dad's campaign, right? Or
Yeah.
maybe even like closer
it was
to
a
year.
decent amount of time.
Like it was quite a while.
I don't think
it was
quite a year.
Yeah.
I think it was like 9 months.
Might have been like 8 or 9 months. Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, so kind of through Bill just deciding to reach out and be like, "Hey, could you do this thing for me?" I'd never
'cause
DM'd before too.
we didn't really have an
But-
open spot in Dad's game
No, we
until
didn't.
Silas and Isaac
Right,
left, and then he
which
was like,
they left like
might as
pretty
well
much
bring him
right
in.
at the time that we kind of wanted them to join.
Yeah.
Like I think shortly after they joined, I talked to Silas and to Isaac both individually, like, about, "Hey, do you guys really want to play this?" Blah blah, whatever. They both kind of shared that they didn't really have that much of an interest in it anymore.
burnt out sort of
And
thing.
So then I ended up going to Dad and I was like, "Hey, I know it's a bit of a stretch. I don't know if you'd be comfortable with it. Would you want a DM for them?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's totally fine." And they kind of just jumped to fill those positions in and brought our lovely book slam and Edron to our party, which is been a blast. Which we will talk about later, so do not worry. That is in my
That's
list. Talking about the campaign is definitely gonna be in there.
Okay.
But yeah, and then through Trey kind of joining, and because the campaign sort of started with, it was Bill, you, Seth, our dad, Trey, and my brother-in-law Jesse. That was kind of our small group at first, and we ran it out of my basement apartment. I still have a couple pictures up on our wall of Lily
How long
sitting
were we
Dad's,
playing down there?
we were playing for not very long.
I think
feel
it
like
was
it was
maybe like
a couple-
It was a couple
games.
of
I think
games.
it might have been like
It was
a
like
month.
3. It was like 2 or 3 games. It was like 3 or 4,
Actually,
I think.
Were we playing?
And then
weekly
we started playing upstairs.
Were we
here.
playing weekly then? Like when we first started,
I
we played.
think no, I don't think we were, because I was playing. Because when I started to run my game, I was like, "Hey," I decided to ran it. It was January or July 11th was the first day of my campaign. And I was playing in a campaign at that point. I had already played a little bit as Orwis, and so I talked to my dad about being able to run, and we kind of tried to figure out a schedule. Like, "Hey, what if we do bi-weekly? You run one and then I run one." And
I remember us
pretty quickly
doing weekly for like a good while.
yeah, for a little bit, I think we did. It actually might have been
I
weekly
think-
for the first
I think
few
when
games.
we were doing it at your house, it was weekly, and then when we came here,
Yeah,
we switched it to bi-weekly.
yeah, that's right. I think you're right. I think it was a little bit of. Yeah, there was a while, I think, where was it me that took a break from DMing for a while?
Don't
Probably.
think so.
I think it might have been.
It was
I think
probably,
we did weekly at Dad's house when we played upstairs, and he had a little separate table.
Right.
And there was all of us at the dining room table and stuff. I think we played weekly there for a little bit, and then I started to DM more, and then
Yeah.
now it has grown into this insane,
But yeah.
larger than life thing that's just gone.
So
Yeah.
we Trey was playing with us for a while, probably like a year, and then
About a year, yeah. And then
River got the invite?
He invited
Yeah.
River, yeah.
Yeah.
And Trey just kind of like reached out randomly. Like you guys hadn't talked for a long time, right?
Yeah, we
Like it was one of those things where we
would-
kind of just fell into this lull of not really like
Yeah.
talking every day.
Yeah, I was very much into Discord.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
didn't you have
right.
your
Oh, I could
little
talk
Discord
about
kitten at that
Obvi-
point?
Hey,
Hey, we don't talk about that,
leave
man.
that- leave-
We don't talk about
out of
it.
this.
We don't talk about her,
Leave
man.
it out of this. Leave it out of this.
Okay.
Okay, we
Yeah,
don't
I
talk
won't
about it.
I won't pry.
Trey, out like it was kind of out of nowhere. He asked me about it. I was like, D&D. I knew about D&D from my older brother, which just happened to have been a friend of Ethan.
Yeah, for a long time. I was friends
Yeah.
with him for quite a while through like we were sort of mutual friends for a little bit and then got closer a little bit in high school and then kind of just had a falling out. He ended up, getting interested in things I wasn't, and actually through they had the D&D club and he invited me a lot to go to the thing in high school. And I remember there was a day that I stayed after school. And I was like, Jake was doing like football or something. He had some sport, and I stayed after school I told mom and dad, I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna check out this D&D group thing, whatever. And they're like, oh, that's cool, yeah, go for it. And that's how dad kind of knew that I had sort of interest in it. This was before, like way before we even started playing dad's game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this was a few months before the Christmas that they got us the starter set of the player's handbook and all that stuff. And I stayed after school one day to go try out D&D, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like I had a couple ideas of like characters, whatever, like, Aiden and his friends helped me kind of figure out like what I wanted to do. I think I was going to play a warlock actually was going to be my first
That was
character
my first
because
character.
I was going to play a bard, but then they had like 3 of them in the campaign because there was like 12 people
Oh, God.
playing. It was like ridiculously big. And I went
That
to
sounds awful.
it would have been
3
terrible.
bards?
I literally went into the room and saw there was like 12 people sitting at the table, and I
That's a
instantly turned around and I went and sat outside and waited for Jake to be done
Was
with
it
his
your
sport so he
social
could give me a ride
social
home.
anxiety that was
A
it?
little
or-
bit of social anxiety, and also like I do not want to play with 12 people at the
Yeah.
table. Like I had known it to be a smaller group kind of game. I honestly wasn't sure if like the 6 players that I have now was going to work out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if it was going to be too big, but obviously it's different for everybody, and thankfully I've been able to make it work. But yeah, it was way too big, and so I was like, nope. But it's so funny that Trey just randomly decides to invite like his best friend from childhood over, and I end up somehow I've avoided him, through my entire high school career and middle school career. Somehow avoided, one of my friend's younger brothers.
Just a big connection, man.
It's seriously,
Yeah.
it's a big this town
True.
is just a spider web of connections.
So how did
Yeah.
how did you two meet, Trey and River?
We
Oh,
met very early on. There's a funny story. I think the day I was born, Trey was like in the next room over,
Yeah,
like getting some sort of medical examination.
yeah. So literally, I was
Yeah.
Whoa.
I was in the hospital for like couple months because I came out early. I was sick.
Oh, that explains
He
it.
was literally in the same hospital, and I think we're
Yeah.
right next door.
You guys are like
We're
like
destined to be
literally
best
like,
friends.
like a buddy comedy.
It's like a
from,
Disney
like a
movie.
Disney
Yeah.
Disney buddy TV show, like a Disney XD.
Yeah.
Or like what is it, the Disney Channel when they
Disney
when they
Channel,
did
yeah,
like they
the
had
Mickey
Jesse
Mouse.
Yeah.
and like all those
Jake
shows and
Paul.
whatever, and
Jake
like
Paul
all that.
when
Yeah,
they
Like
did
Zach
that's
and
right. He
Cody.
actually was
Yeah.
on
That's
Disney
so
Channel.
funny.
That's right. But yeah, they honestly seem like they're characters from like Drake and Josh.
It'd be like a Drake and Josh
Literally.
spinoff.
Yeah.
Trey and River.
That's insane.
yeah,
They,
but
actually,
like
they don't know that we
we-
have the cameras set up. We didn't tell them.
Oh, this is the
This is the
Yeah.
part of the
episode.
show.
yeah. No, there's cameras everywhere.
Well,
I haven't gone a single day without looking at a camera somewhere hidden. No, but we were friends in pre-K, which we were like 3 years old. We met each other. We like
Yeah.
met each other when we were like 3 years old, and we just like clicked.
Yeah.
We were like the same person. But it was just
Hey,
instant friendship.
I don't even remember like.
I don't remember
You just
it.
knew each other.
I don't remember it at all,
Yeah.
really either.
Yeah, it's
but
kind of
we
like
just,
Ethan
like-
and I. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like one of those things. Yeah. It's exactly actually. Like this.
Yeah, exactly
It's
like
like
that.
No, but like when you guys like gained consciousness, you guys were just with each other. It's like, yeah, that's my friend.
Yeah.
And like,
It's
you
like-
didn't think
It's like,
anything
I knew
of
this
it.
guy,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like,
It's like the first friend you make, and then you're like,
Yeah.
you can't not
Do
be
I
friends with them.
remember
Yeah.
gaining consciousness?
Probably not.
Do you? Because
The
I
last-
think
the
I
very
do.
first memory you'd ever have, I
What?
feel like would be
I
your
think
first
I
memory.
do remember.
I don't see.
I remember standing. So we lived in like our house used to be a 1-story ranch, and we had
Yeah.
this giant window, like in the living or in the dining room was our old living room, And those windows that are in the dining room, the 3 windows, used to be one large window. It was like this big one. We used to paint on it and stuff for the people outside, like driving past and stuff. It was like a fun thing my mom did like once a year. But I remember like standing on the top of the couch facing out towards it and seeing Josiah, my older brother, come home from school, getting off the bus. And I remember seeing him and I got all excited because it was my older brother was coming home, whatever. And I remember like, I remember like my just... like the memory is almost just foggy and then boom, clear. Yeah. And I remember seeing the bus and like turning around to go like run to greet him or whatever, and like being stunned and stopping just dead in the center of our carpet on the floor. And there was like a blanket laid out on the floor with Legos dumped out and scattered everywhere, and Silas was playing in the with the Legos and stuff. And I remember like you were probably crawling around or something because you were super young at this point. And I like remember
Probably
getting
chewing
like
on a
genuinely
Lego.
shocked and stopped for a second, confused and like almost scared,
Oh, dude.
and then instantly was just like, boop, back to it, and
That's
kept running.
gotta be a dream. There's no way.
I don't know if it is or not.
No way.
I'm
You stopped and said, "What is this?"
I don't know what
My
happened, but like I just got
consciousness.
overwhelmed. Like it was like an overwhelming feeling of just like of confusion,
Right.
and then I just was like, "Oh, Josiah's coming home," and then just continued to
Okay.
run. I don't know if it was a dream or not. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I'm just gonna say that's my
Okay,
first
so
memory.
I
'cause
have-
that's crazy.
I have like 2 super early memories. One of them is just like me walking into the living room and just like sitting down on the couch. Another is like a memory of a couch we used to have in the basement. But like the memory that I think is the oldest that I can tell you like about like where it was when it happened was on my 4th birthday party when I turned 4 years old. I wanted a multicolored cake, and I liked I got a multicolored cake because I wanted it, and I was like, "This is the best cake ever," and I was so happy. And I was wearing my favorite shirt at the time, which had a bunch of pictures of bugs on it, right?
Oh no! I know it's coming, dude.
And on my birthday,
Oh no!
Ethan complained about my bug shirt and made me change out of it because he didn't want to look at the bugs when he was eating my cake.
I didn't like bugs, man.
That's the earliest memory I have.
Like I once had a year. Oh no! You probably know how old I was when it happened. But the year I had the watermelon cake,
Oh, that was awful.
where it was like liked watermelon so much that I just had a watermelon with frosting
It was,
on it.
Oh.
it was a watermelon.
And that was the year I
shaped like a cake.
invited like all of like
Your classmates?
yeah. It wasn't even like my friends; it was my classmates.
To a watermelon cake
Yes.
party.
I
So,
remember
like, all
I
of,
didn't
like-
eat it because I was like, I'm not eating that.
Yeah, I think we made like
That surprises me. I would have thought you would have jumped right on it.
I think we
The most
made,
adventurous
like, a
eater I know.
second cake.
I mean, you had to have. There's no way
yeah,
your
I'm
mom
pretty sure
would have
there was a
just.
second cake, and no one touched the watermelon cake except for
Oh,
me.
more for you.
Did you like it though?
Yeah, because I like watermelon.
Did you take the frosting
Kind
off?
of interested. We should try that again at some point.
No.
Dude, it's literally just a straight up watermelon.
I know.
Second
It was in a
episode.
block
We
of
should do it
watermelon.
again for like
Let's do
nostalgia
it
for your birthday.
for the second
I
episode.
mean, yeah, we can.
For the second episode, we'll
Yeah.
have a watermelon cake.
We'll have a watermelon cake.
Sure.
No, when I turn 21,
That's
where
gonna be
everyone's
wild, buddy.
drinking, I'm just eating
Eating
my
a watermelon cake with frosting.
No, watermelon cake filled with beer or filled with
Yo.
some sort of liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those like watermelons that are filled with like some sort of drink.
Like the guy that tips like tipsy bartender or something. The guy you see on Facebook videos where he puts the whole like bottle of fucking vodka or something
Yeah.
in the top of the watermelon. He's like, "It's not the tipsy watermelon bongo shot or something." And it's
Something
like
stupid.
Just says some
just
random
some dumb
thing.
name for something.
Yeah.
And he like fills up like the
Okay.
He's the guy.
What is your earliest memory, River?
Uh,
When you quote unquote gained consciousness?
it would definitely have to
You
be.
logged in.
It would have.
you logged in.
yeah,
Yeah.
when I logged in. It had to have been Rise and Shine. I can't remember, like, because I think when I joined, I was like 3.
Is that a daycare?
That's
yeah,
the
Rise
Yeah.
and Shine
the
daycare.
daycare.
That's where me and Trey met.
Mhm.
It was in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
I
is-
do
yeah.
have a couple memories from my
This
like
is my part
pre-K.
now.
Now that I think about it, that might
He's
be
the main
earlier.
character right now.
Yeah,
He's the
but-
talking stick.
He's the MC.
Come on, Seth.
My bad.
Yeah, but I remember one time I was in like this little sandbox. And I was just like playing with a little shovel. I was digging sand, like looking at the corners. Like I don't know what I was looking for specifically.
You're just looking.
I remember, I think I was just doing it by myself. Another one was like being in like the building, and I think there was like lunch or whatever in front of me. I was like, "Ew, I'm not eating that." And
Yep.
I can't really remember that well, but
I'm pretty sure you brought your own lunch. I don't think
I
they
probably-
served lunch
No,
there.
You bring your own, yeah, like, but whatever his mother packed for him.
yeah,
you
it was my
want.
mom's package. I did not.
You just
Even
want
wanted
his
pizza,
mom
man.
couldn't pick food to get him to eat it.
She still can't now.
Yeah. Your diet is an enigma.
Yeah, no, I don't know
Yeah.
how I'm alive.
You
But,
shouldn't be.
Another memory that I think I have quite a few from Resin Shine, but
Mhm.
another one was when like a bunch of us. I don't remember who it was, but we were all like crowded around this like centipede. We're like, "Whoa,
Whoa.
look at that!
Yeah.
Thing's moving so weird." But I think
That
that's
was about right.
probably another one of like
Sounds
on like
like
the swing, like eating
Sounds like
Jello.
daycare kids.
Yeah.
That sounds like
I'm
daycare kids.
remembering more now. But
Yeah,
Right.
now that
I'm
I'm
not gonna
thinking
go off
about
and
it.
like
yeah.
name all of them.
That's cool though. So a lot of memories from Rise and Shine. That's so funny. It's come full
Funnily,
circle.
none of Trey.
Yeah, right.
Yikes.
When I met him, the one
funny.
place
Yeah,
I
I
met
can't
him.
remember
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Did you share? Did
No, I
you?
haven't.
You have?
Yeah, your watermelon
mean-
cake.
That was like
That was
3
him going
years
on a
ago.
tangent.
No shot.
That was
That
like
was-
five.
no way.
That was,
You're lying.
that was like
That might
5
have
or
been,
6
like,
years ago.
when I was
that was when he was
12 or
like
13.
11
Like
or
middle
12.
school?
yeah, it was.
Dude.
That's even,
Actually, no.
That's even
It would've
later
been
than
in
I
I would have
was.
said
Dude.
Dunn School. It was
I
not
was
Dunn
thinking
School.
elementary.
yeah, I was
thinking
thinking
Russell School, like
Or
first or second
memorial
grade.
for you.
No, we
Yeah.
probably he was
You
probably
were
like 3rd or 4th.
13 years old and you think a watermelon with frosting is going to be good for other people? You think people are going to like watermelon with frosting on it at 13 years old?
You get 13 years old and you think it's just going to be good in general. Like, you wanted to eat that. At 13 years old?
I liked watermelon.
The funny thing is, you guys did not know him at that age, and I did.
I'm glad I did it. To be honest.
If he thought that was going to be good,
Dude,
for a
honestly,
party?
me and Trey were probably like the weird kids.
Yeah.
We were
Oh,
the
yeah,
weird kids.
remember when we would play like
we
Minecraft
would
in real life?
pretend to be playing Minecraft
Like,
in real life
in the playground. I
That's awesome.
remember. I have a memory of like I placed a TNT down.
Yes,
and we all
and
start
you-
running.
Dude.
running.
You
Yeah.
griefed the playground?
Yeah, we
Griefed that.
griefed the
Dude.
playground.
Oh
Not
my
cool,
goodness.
man. Gonna get kicked from the server.
Oh my goodness. We should just start talking about death in that way. I think society as a whole
Kicked
would,
from the server?
Yeah.
Yeah,
would
dude.
approve.
I could see that.
Honestly, bro, admin kick you from the server.
Yeah, I think.
I remember playing like Pokemon when we were like Pokemon
come-
in real
come on.
life.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, kids in my grade played Pokemon. Like, Pokemon was a mainstream thing.
In real life.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pokemon
Pokemon was like-
Kids would
yeah.
throw rocks and stuff.
No,
We never
had
threw
Pokemon.
rocks.
We did the rocks.
They would pretend that there was like a little Pokemon or whatever, and they'd throw like a little rock or something at it to like pretend that was the Pokeball and they were catching it.
I remember doing
Like,
like.
They throw into
Kids
the
play that.
animals.
Yeah.
It's a little chipmunk.
Oh my!
No,
So a
no.
little chipmunk and screamed.
They're like, oh, yeah, they actually very consistently they would look at me and they'd say, oh, it's a ditto of Ethan, and they'd chuck rocks at me as hard as they could. Oh, yeah.
Kick you while you're down.
childhood.
Yeah, and then they would kick me. Yeah, when I was
You had a
little. Yeah.
sad childhood.
Nah,
Well,
it's just
No,
a
they were just
misunderstanding.
playing.
Yeah.
They were just playing.
They just misunderstood him.
That
for
reminds
yeah.
me of the Puss in Boots movie. If you guys haven't seen that, you should watch it.
I do need to see that though.
I've
I
seen
have
it-
heard a lot
I've
of
seen
good
it
things.
Are we
twice.
sponsored?
I
Well,
think he is,
we're
honestly.
promoting it because
I
I
think he
watched
gets
it twice.
royalties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually went in the suit to watch
What's-
it the second time.
yeah,
in
that's so
theaters.
funny to me. I love that.
What's the do you have another prompt for us?
Yeah, I do. You know, it'd be funny. Real quick before we move on, though, I think what would be really fun to do is to buy just really bad cosplay things. Like, go to like Party City
Oh
and
yeah.
to like and just buy really crappy like cardboard and stuff like that, like really scuffed like cosplay, and we should go see the Dungeons and Dragons movie dressed up in like really bad
Oh,
cosplay,
yeah.
just like painted with
ourselves?
like
Like of our
markers and
characters?
stuff. We could
Or
do
just,
that, or
like-
just like random, just generic D&D characters and
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
We just do like a wizard and a
character would be so
druid
easy.
and you know what I mean, just the generic.
Mhm.
I'm like a
Yeah.
bard.
I just need a big
I
old
think
wizard
that'd be
hat.
so
and I'm
funny.
chilling.
I think that would be really funny to do. Just get really, but make sure it's like super bad,
Like bad, like
like a
purposely
limit of
bad.
like
Really bad.
$20 or something per
Like
costume.
I
Cardboard
don't think-
colored with
Yes,
think I-
colored
markers.
with markers and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and just
Mhm.
go and like just
I don't
go in
think
like
at Party
crappy
City you
cosplay. I
can
think it'd be
buy
really
something
funny.
for $20. I think like their lowest is at least like
Did we go?
30.
We'd have to go to a
They're
craft
pretty
store.
A craft
expensive.
store would be
A craft
better,
store
yeah.
would be better.
That would be really funny.
So
I think-
your
You spend,
own
like, 30
costumes
bucks
out,
on, like,
stuff like that.
something that's gonna break in like.
yeah, I am
an
excited
hour.
about that movie though. I think it's gonna be good. I'm
Yeah.
hoping.
I mean, Arcane was good.
Yeah.
That was an adaptation.
Yeah, fantastic actually.
No, yeah, really good.
I feel like there's been a lot. Well, The Witcher, so maybe not.
The
maybe
first-
adaptations
listen,
weren't
the first
aren't that good
season
recently.
of The Witcher was good. The second season, they screwed it up. I'm not gonna go into this because I could do it for a whole day,
Yeah.
24 hours straight.
Okay,
But
it's
yeah.
not a horrible show.
No, the first season's good. The first season is very good. It's very close.
It's just
similar
not
to the
accurate
books.
to the source material.
It's pretty accurate. The first season is pretty.
No, I'm
accurate
talking about
to
the
source
show overall.
Oh yeah, well that's because they have the second season.
Like, it's not. The second season isn't horrible
It's-
as a TV show.
no, not as a TV show,
but-
but when the fans of The Witcher, like myself, the books and the games are so like ingrained in you. Is like that is
Right.
Geralt,
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
is
yeah.
his story.
Yeah.
Because in the games, the book is canon, so things that happen in the book happened in the games.
Right? Yeah.
So sort of what I'm kind of hearing is like season 1 was a good Witcher show. Season 2 was a good show, but it was a bad Witcher
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
So
They
it's
made
like
some very poor decisions that pretty much everybody in the community disliked because they killed off a very important character.
yeah, that's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
What was that again? It was like
It was
his best
Eskel,
friend.
Eskel, his best friend
That was a
that
lot.
he's
That's
known
alive
since he was
throughout,
like
all of
5
it,
years
right?
old, and
Yeah.
he's in the games. He's almost 100 years old. He's probably known him for like 90 years
Just the
Yeah.
jacked up
by game
on
time. So
yeah,
literally,
mutagens.
you can't get much closer of a bond than they can.
Right, and he's alive till 100-something years old, and then they
Yeah.
kill him off in the show, right?
They kill him off in the show,
Mhm.
which is, I think he's roughly 70 or 80 in the
Which
show.
honestly, I feel like
That's so
wasn't even
crazy.
that.
Because the time skips and stuff like
I
that.
feel like it didn't even impact the story that much if I'm remembering it
I don't think it did because I don't
correctly.
think because I think they were trying to, they were just trying to continue on like nothing happened.
Yeah, they kind of like just went on about
And
their
they
thing.
added this whole thing where like these creatures, legends like ancient tree spirits, could like infect people, which just was not a thing at the time. I
They
don't
kind
know
of
if
try
it's
to
a
do
thing.
their own thing.
They
Yeah.
were trying to do their own thing, and it wasn't working because I think The Witcher overall is a very interesting like story, and to change it is to make it interesting in a different way that
Mhm.
is not interesting to the people who liked it for that reason.
Yeah, like it's a good TV show because it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a fan of the series, then it's kind of off-putting because it's not
Right.
like it's not totally accurate.
You think that they're
What
kind
is
of
it
trying to more focus this to be an introduction to the series?
No. I think it's the writers wanting to make their magnum opus, so they don't really
Yeah.
care about the source material,
Gotcha.
and they're
It's
just trying
also-
to get
Yeah.
It's also the
their
writers.
bag.
The writers of the show. There's been many rumors that they dislike the source material.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Which you should not
Makes
be on a
sense,
show.
though.
You
You
should
shouldn't
not
be.
be writing
I mean,
a show if you don't like
it's a
the source
Netflix
material.
production,
That's
exactly.
crazy.
so they're not hiring people who want to do it. They're hiring people that will do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people who have the talent, but when it's not used correctly, is going to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bad
Was that
situation.
nominated for the Game Awards thing? Best adaptation? I don't think it was.
I
right?
don't think it was nominated
Because
for the
I
Game
don't think
Awards.
it was.
the one that I mean, Arcane won that one, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. But
100%.
that's crazy.
Watch it.
Which
if you haven't seen it.
sort of segues into the next
Exactly.
segment, which I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the Game Awards.
Mm, of course.
Eventful.
Yeah, very eventful, very strange. For those of you who have seen it, you probably know the moment we're talking about. For those of you who don't, apparently there was
So
this.
we
crowd-
explain what the Game Awards are for those who don't know.
Yeah. So the Game Awards typically are a streamed event that happens every year. I believe it's. Does IGN put it on? No, I'm pretty sure it's like their own thing now.
I think it's
it
like
used to
its
be, I
own
think, sponsored
organization.
heavily by like other companies, but now it's kind of like become its own thing. And I don't remember who they were sponsored by this year, but a pretty big company. I think like it might have been like US Cellular, like one
Yeah,
of
I
the
don't
mobile
know.
companies. But typically every year it's a award show that the community votes for their favorite video games for a bunch of different topics or a bunch of different categories and stuff. Thank you. Which one of them was as we touched on a little bit, the best adaptation of a game
Yeah.
into like a TV show.
Into some other source of media.
Right.
I think they were all shows.
I think they were all
but I
shows,
don't
yeah.
know if
Which
they
like
had-
Yeah.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners was in there, which was fantastic. Very, very good anime. Arcane was in there, which is probably one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah.
It just did. It
yeah,
just did so well.
It was just very, very good.
the story was very compelling. Like the characters were flawed. They had good things about them. They had bad things about them.
Yeah. That's
You
always so
felt
good.
sympathy for them.
Yeah, that's always awesome too. Is like specifically, that's like interesting that you bring that up, because that's something that's so interesting about Arcane is like the characters have like they have very realistic feeling flaws,
Yeah.
and like they actually affect the story.
Exactly.
Where you look at shows like, for example, like a Game of Thrones, where it's like, yeah, I'm Daenerys, and I've had all this bad stuff happen to me before, so I'm becoming a bad person. And it's like, it just doesn't feel like legit.
Mhm.
I had a lot of issues with some of the characters in Game of Thrones because of that, but Arcane has a similar sort of like story structure to a show like Game of Thrones or like The Walking Dead, but it just the way that they paced it and all of that stuff is just so fantastic. It genuinely blew me away, and even rewatching it, like it was almost better the second time watching it through.
Honestly, yeah.
And then like now that we're watching it through the third time, so that Dora and Isaac,
It
my
could be
cousin,
that
can
just because
experience it.
we're all watching it together.
Yeah,
It could
that's
be.
definitely
Yeah.
a part of it for sure. But I mean, like picking up on those small little details and stuff you
Yeah.
didn't pick up on before, like that's so cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times you don't really get that with a lot of TV shows, especially Netflix shows.
And honestly, now that I know a lot more about League than I did when I watched it, because I knew
Right.
nothing about
Yes,
it when
exactly.
I watched it the first time, and just hanging out with you guys on Discord and stuff like that, and playing Laldl, I've learned so much more about the characters. Not really too much about the game, like the characters and the champions, like the lore and stuff like that, and looking at it myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they're just very interesting.
One of League of Legends' strong suits is the lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, it's fantastic.
It's also like one of my favorite things about games. Like learning
Yeah.
lore, learning like history on like characters and places is so interesting to me.
Yeah, I find it very fun to like dig through all of the stuff they have online,
Yeah,
and they have
that's-
comic books
Yeah.
and stuff out too, which are really cool. I just started reading. There's a comic book about the Cursed Isles and stuff that has a little bit
Oh yeah, yeah.
some
Oh,
of the
that's
other
interesting.
characters like Hecarim and Callista and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's why Arcane did so well though, is because they didn't rely on the fact that you knew characters.
That's
They
true.
built it up for people who had no idea what it was about, and they just told the best story they could.
Yeah, I tell people all the time too. I'm like, hey, there's this really good show. It's loosely based off this game, but you do not have to know a single
Yeah,
thing
like
about it.
Yeah,
the,
exactly.
the World of
Just try it.
Warcraft thing they did way back when.
Right.
Like they would
That
show a
movie?
character's face and then like get a close up, expecting everyone to know who they were.
Was that movie that came out a couple years ago?
It was a while ago, but yeah, it like
Yeah.
flopped bad.
Yeah, it flopped very badly.
Because nobody knew what was going on except for World of
Yeah.
Warcraft players, and they weren't watching the movie because they didn't leave their house. They were playing the game
Yeah,
Yeah,
and paying,
Yeah.
$60 a month or something.
yeah, but they Arcane definitely deserved to win that award.
Mhm.
the Game
Yeah,
Awards.
I think so. That was a pretty obvious. Is there any other like things that sort of stand out from the other? I know that there a lot of the other categories and stuff probably don't really like shout out to you or whatever, or like stand out. But is there any other categories that like have a very obvious win or one that you were very surprised by?
Esports event.
Oh, that's
Worlds.
Oh, that was so
for League of
fun.
Legends Worlds Finals for 2022.
that one won.
Yeah, that won the best esports event of the year, and definitely. I mean, I didn't see.
It is earned.
I didn't see the
100%.
others, but having River, who didn't care at all about
Knew
League,
nothing
on
about
his
League.
feet, screaming by the end of the
Yeah.
fifth game. I mean,
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Knew
That was
nothing
really
about
cool.
it. I was having the most fun time of my life.
Yeah.
At what, like 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. It was pretty late by the end of the
Yeah.
fifth game.
I will say
think
one
it
of
was
the
2:00 when it ended.
It
Yeah.
might have been 2
Yeah,
o'clock.
because you guys had work the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Trey
took
remembers.
And we were going to. I was going to leave, but then you're like, "No, you should watch it." It's like, I was like, "All right."
You're like, screw it, I'm not.
We had
gonna
to
do this
Yeah.
we had to
ever again.
fight to keep them there.
We did.
Yeah,
but I'm
no, yeah,
so
you
I
did.
glad
had to
they
stay
did.
because
If
I had to
I-
lock the doors when you guys
Yeah,
left.
yeah.
So
I am so
was
glad.
forced
I
to
would have
stay.
regretted it so badly.
I know,
If
because
I
we
did
were
not
talking
stay.
about it the next day. Like,
I'm
dude,
glad I
that
won.
was nuts. I can't believe that DRX won.
I actually
it.
clutched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a fun thing to watch.
hella cool.
And like, there was moments that like you don't even have to play League. You don't have to know anything about it to like see like the steals and things like that.
Yeah,
Like the team fights where they just wipe them.
Yeah,
it's like
right,
that is so
exactly.
cool to see.
right. Because like, there's a lot of things that are like, there's a lot of things in League that are like pretty obvious. Like again, like killing the big monster like Dragon or like Baron
Yeah.
is like those are pretty obvious. Like
Yeah.
when they're there, you can tell that it's serious. Like because everybody's going for the thing. Like Baron team fights are some of my favorite moments in any League like league tournament ever. I love Baron fights. They're so fun. It's also crazy to see how different that like the highest tier of players do Baron fights compared to like low tiers where we are. Like, because everybody just backs off Baron and they just go and they and like sometimes the team will just like run away and they'll run to one of the other lanes or something,
Right.
instead of like staying and fighting and damaging. Like, it's just so crazy.
Yeah, they definitely are way better. They know
Who was it that got that crazy steal?
Gumayushi.
Gumayushi
Yes, it
was
was Gumayushi.
He was one of the.
I think
the
it was
best
was it
junglers.
Dragon or
No, he was
Baron?
bot lane.
Oh, that's
I
right.
think
he
it was
was
still on
Gumayushi played
Dragon.
Varus.
It was Varus.
I think they had.
But he had the most objective steals in the
Yep.
entire tournament, actually.
And it wasn't
think
even
they
his
were, like-
responsibility.
Yeah.
How many dragons are there?
There's
game?
there's in every game there's like there can be
Minimum of 4.
yeah.
Maximum
think
of 7.
they
or
had, like,
more,
3.
but
Yeah.
7.
And the steal was for the 4th.
Yeah, the soul point.
Yep.
Dragon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
I
the
remember. I
Baron
remember
steal
being
was
very
5.
important.
Yeah.
Wouldn't there be minimum of 5 and then maximum of 8? Because
The 4th Baron or the 4th Dragon gives you your soul point.
Realistically, you could end the game with technically one dragon if you never. If
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
ever goes dragon the whole game, but
you can end the game with
the real
dragon.
minimum is like.
I'm not really including Elder because that's like
Yeah.
Oh,
That's different.
I was including that.
Right.
Because it's a dragon.
That's
Yeah.
right. There's Elder
Because
Dragon
Elder
as well.
Dragon, Elder Dragon gives you like a bunch.
no,
like,
didn't
huge
he
buffs.
stole Baron?
He
Didn't
stole Baron, yeah.
which gave him like the other buff. But
It was
yeah.
barely still, which was big because I actually ended up getting them pretty far into enemy nexus and stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things that I thought was really funny. I mean, I saw way too much God of War Ragnarok in my opinion. I totally understand.
I didn't really watch anything of that game, and I
Yeah.
still haven't, so I don't know
I
how good it was.
watched a little bit. It's fair. I find it very interesting because I love Greek mythology and Norse mythology, like
Yeah.
my favorite mythology, and it was kind of mixed together.
Yeah.
And Kratos is a very cool character,
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
so it was more like seeing one of my favorite video game characters in one of my favorite like places.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Because like Scandinavia is such a beautiful place,
Yeah.
and like the kind of like this dark, like Norse vibe that it has. I think it's so
It's like
cool.
dark fantasy. I love
Yeah.
the vibe of the games. I definitely think. I mean, I understand like the reasoning, but I just don't think it was very fair that the game came out like a month before.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a little.
well,
There's
6
definitely
came out
a
a
little
little
bit
bit
of
too
recency
late.
bias,
It
but I
won,
mean there
like-
always is.
It won, but then again,
It
Game of the
won
Year came out in
best-
February.
Yeah,
January
Did-
or Elden Ring came out in February.
Yeah.
And it still ended up winning Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Which is
that's-
crazy to me.
Mhm.
I honestly thought it
It's a
had
good
no
game.
chance. I thought that God of War was going to
Well,
take it.
Elden Ring's different because it's got all the fans of the Souls games, which is a
Yeah,
lot.
True.
Right.
But then it was also like not linear, so it was very beginner friendly. If something was hard, you just leave it and come back to it.
Yeah.
So it also got a lot of fans from other people that hadn't played Souls games like me.
I
to-
have
to
still
actually give it a
yet
shot.
To try it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
You got to know what kind of game it is when you're going into
Yeah,
it. It is a Souls game, so
I
it is
have-
going to be hard. But
I did play. I played Dark Souls 3 once. My brother had me play it. I think his name is Gundyr. I beat him in 3 tries, which I think is good.
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
First
that's a-
time.
Yeah, first time. Yeah, first time I played it.
Yep. That's good.
Have you seen that guy who like beat all of the Souls games in one like without getting hit once
Yeah.
or something like
I
that?
did see that.
If he got hit, he went back to Dark
Yeah,
Souls 1.
to-
Yeah.
He reset his run.
Or did he
I-
go back
I-
to Demon Souls?
Yeah, all the way back. He did every single
think it was, like,
Dark Souls,
every
Demon
single-
Souls like
Wow.
From Software
so, like,
game.
Bloodborne too.
Yeah.
yeah.
that's
If I'm remembering
crazy.
correctly, it was every single game without getting hit.
That's
Once.
And
insane.
if you got hit once, you go all
You'd
the
go
way
all the way
Reset.
back.
Yeah,
You'd
you
reset.
reset, and I think
I
That's
cannot.
crazy.
I'm sorry, but I cannot imagine wasting that much time.
Yeah.
That is
Bro,
that
but
is
that's
your
the thing.
life that you're never going to get back. Playing a game
yeah.
over and over and over just so you don't take
I mean,
damage.
yeah, but like
Seriously.
if you can play one of those games without getting hit, why not move on to the next one? That's
True.
probably what he did until he did every single one. And he's like,
Wait,
why
I
not
could
do 'em
probably
all?
chain this all together.
yeah,
And then
it,
I
it
just
took him 120 days to complete
That's-
it.
Only that.
that's
long.
Yeah.
not that long. Was it? Did he play every day? Probably.
Do you mean worth of
Probably.
time or just days?
No, like days.
It
There's
took
no
him
way.
120
That's
days. Like,
insane.
But that's also, is he doing it every day for like?
He's probably streaming
It's-
it every day.
Well, if he's not doing it every day, it's even more impressive.
he was probably
Yeah.
streaming
because
it.
it's a less.
Was it a streamer?
yeah.
Yeah,
he-
that's
I
what I
figured,
thought.
yeah.
So he was probably playing every day on stream.
Probably playing for like 8-10 hours at a time.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's if
Even
he's,
longer,
like,
maybe.
He didn't. I I didn't know the guy, so he could just be some small streamer
I think he was
that probably has a job.
I think he was
Probably.
probably streaming to a small audience. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
So he probably wasn't streaming for very long, maybe like 4 or 5 hours. He could do it when he gets home from work though, and like play for like do like a 5-6 hour stream,
Mhm.
which is still a long time every day. That's
Yeah.
crazy though.
It's
Speaking of game of the year, though, the Bill Clinton kid.
Oh yeah.
That was a thing at the
That
Game
was
Awards.
strange. That was funny because we clocked it. We noticed. We
Oh,
saw
yeah.
him
What's
and we're like, he's not wearing a suit. He doesn't really look like he's supposed to be up
Yeah.
there, but he also kind
He-
of does.
Yeah, we
was
thought
composed.
he was one of the guy's kids,
Yeah.
but he didn't look like he was like a blood relative of any of the people on stage, and he looked very out of place
Yeah.
and was constantly looking up at the big monitor to see if he was in frame or not.
Yeah, that I didn't even
Those-
pick up on that until
Those
you
were the
mentioned it.
things that were like that. It's like something's not right about this kid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys. Me and Seth definitely did.
Whoops.
Because I noticed he was looking, but I wasn't like thinking he wasn't supposed to be there. But he looked slightly out of place. Like I saw him and I was like, wasn't wearing a suit. He was wearing like a vest or whatever.
See, I thought he was like someone's like kid or nephew or something that went up on stage with him, and then like
Mhm.
one of his friends dared him to get
A
in the
cool
shot or
thing-
something.
Oh, actually, I believe it was a dare from his friends. I think we watched that video
Yeah.
explaining it, and basically, he was dared by his friends to go do it. And there's a frame you can see. I think it pans over to the people from software. Kind of in the middle, you can see him.
Yeah, he's
up.
walking down another
You can see him
aisle.
walking
Yeah.
down another aisle, and he kind of walks in with them. And I think because the guys from software, I guess they kind of thought he was just like security.
I mean, he just
or
acted like
something.
he's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
They're not going to question it.
Confidence can get
confident.
you into a lot of places.
and they're
Yeah,
probably just
exactly.
like nervous. Those are
I mean,
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
big
people
deal.
that just make
Yeah.
games for a living.
I believe-
they're going up to.
They just won the
What was-
biggest
What
award.
was his name?
They're
The
going to
Yeah.
accept
creator
it.
of Elden Ring.
Oh, it's on the tip of my
I
tongue.
think he's the CEO.
Yeah, he's the CEO of FromSoft.
Yeah, but I think he's a very shy person. I think he was a very
Yeah,
shy person.
he
so
doesn't.
did-
Was it Keegan who said he didn't really like interviews?
Yeah.
Miyazaki.
Probably.
yeah, Miyazaki.
Was
That
Keegan
makes
was
sense.
he watching that? He was, right?
Yeah, he was. I think he was
I
watching.
think
with
He
us,
did. He
wasn't
did join. Yeah,
He was
did
watching
join.
us
Yeah.
or with us for the Game
He
Awards.
That was so funny. Yeah, but apparently he's like a he's like a free speech advocate.
Yeah, he is Jewish.
and like he does a lot of like
I'm pretty sure he's
like
only
politics.
like 14. Or
Yeah, he
something
was
like
like
that.
he's like 14 or 15
Yeah.
years old.
That's
He-
so crazy,
Yeah.
dude.
He's a political person and doesn't even play games.
Oh,
but
the
he was
Bill
at the Game
Clinton
Awards.
kid.
Yeah, the Bill Clinton kid.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
He,
think
like,
meant
doesn't
14
play
when he
games.
made the first Demon Souls game. And I
No,
was like, oh,
no.
wait.
Yeah.
But no, we're talking about Bill Clinton. Okay.
Yeah. I saw a video of him like breaking character, and he was like talking about giving broken phones or some broken thing to homeless people just because. And some guy asked him, "Why don't you just give him like not broken stuff?" And then he just started dying laughing, and he like had to turn off his camera or something like that.
Weird.
That's crazy.
That is weird.
Yeah. It was the first time I ever saw him like break
Never meet your
character.
heroes, folks.
yeah.
That's so weird, though. But yeah, kind of on the similar sort of vein of the game of the year, which obviously Elden Ring got it, and I think you were the only one, Seth, that actually played Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Trey played it for
I
like a
have.
couple hours.
That's right.
Yeah, he
I
But
played for like 20 something hours.
I think I watched
And-
him the first time we played it. I
Mhm.
remember he got called maidenless, and we were like, "Hold on, you can't say
Yeah.
that." So he tried to fight him, and he got
I
his
tried
ass
fighting the
kicked.
dude, and I died so many times. I had to like restart
He was
the
trying
game.
to run
Oh, yeah.
away for like a
Because
good solid 20
You just
minutes.
can't get away from him.
Yeah, it
'cause
just
you're
keeps
so-
chasing you.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I've never been into those kind of games and stuff though. But kind of speaking on that sort of like game of the year sort of thing, I wanted to know what was your personal game of the year, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a game that was released this year. If you want to give a game that was released this year, but what was your favorite game that you guys played this year? Whether it be released this year or not, or if you want to give one for both, you could do that. But I'm curious to see what your favorite games were this year.
I
that you
don't
played.
think I played like a game that released this year, to be honest with you.
I don't know if I haven't.
I would have played God of War Ragnarok if I had a PS5 and if I was willing to spend that much money. Funny thing is, a while ago, me and Trey went to GameStop, a PS5 with God of War Ragnarok on it for $200.
Dang.
Yeah, and
We didn't buy it because
I
don't
didn't
know.
buy it because $200 was all I had in my bank account.
Oh, yeah.
Brother
Yeah.
didn't have.
I
You had like
did not have
maybe
enough.
like 100.
Yeah,
We were broke, and we literally told River's dad.
I told my dad about it,
that was there.
and now we probably regret not buying it right then and there.
Oh yeah, but I feel like
100%.
that was a scam. Like something. There's no
Yeah,
way
It
something
was.
that's like
it was
That's so
sealed though.
weird.
It was sealed.
But it's also a PS4. PS4s are like
no.
No,
PS5.
it was a
Was a
PS5.
It was a
It was a
PS5.
PS5 for
There's
$200
no way.
with
Yeah.
God of War Ragnarok on it. We saw it on the shelf. It was like a $70 game.
Yeah, the game was literally like.
So a PS5 worth $130.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah,
that's got to have been broken into a million pieces and glued together with
Maybe.
Elmer's glue.
We don't know.
it was in Lewiston, so it could just be like
True.
you have a chance of getting shot up while being there, and so that's
So
why they
they're
gave you
like,
like
hey,
the
here's your-
massive
yeah.
discount.
Yeah, here's
They-
your discount.
Here's your
Just
risk-
don't get robbed
Risk
when you
cost.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Let you save enough for medical bills.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
And you
true.
get mugged for it.
That's so
Honestly, yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
You got enough money to buy.
If
a
I
gun
had the
to
money,
defend
if I had,
yourself,
if I had $200, like $215 because sales tax,
Yeah, right.
I
Yeah.
would have bought it.
I
Because
should.
I would have been
wild.
like, that is coming home with me.
But like, I'm an Xbox kid.
Yeah.
Right, same.
Mm.
That's what I grew up on. So, but what was your favorite game that you played this year,
Favorite game
River?
that I played this year.
Does it have to be released this year?
No, doesn't have to be. You can get
This-
both if you want, though.
By this year we mean 2022, because obviously.
Yes, 2022.
Just
Beginning of
over
February.
like 365 days ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I was still playing The Witcher 3 at like the beginning, like February.
Makes sense.
It's my favorite game of all time. It might have been Hades at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Hades was very fun because you basically dungeon crawl through the entire. You have to dungeon crawl it all in one run, which is
Yeah.
very cool. So we had to beat all the bosses. There's a boss for each like level of hell or
Yeah.
Hades. It was very cool. And you get up there, and you'd have to defeat your own dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you did that, you could like go and like see whoever you're gonna see. I don't want to spoil the game if you guys ever want
Right.
to play it. But then you like, because Zagreus is from Hades and like he's not allowed to be up in the overworld.
Yep.
He basically like dies and then goes back down to Hades, like the lowest level. So you have to keep doing that until a certain amount of times,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun. I played it
Yeah,
for quite
that's
a
like a
while.
typical sort of. They call them roguelite.
Yeah.
So there's a style of game called a roguelike where you play it and then you essentially just play through the game, and then if you die, your progress gets reset and you run again. A roguelite is a game where when you buy things, when you purchase certain things, you get permanent unlocks for
Yeah.
future runs.
Yep.
And I believe that there's some items and stuff that you can buy in Hades that maintain to
Yeah.
your future runs.
Yeah.
So it's technically a roguelite.
And you
I
unlock, like,
absolutely love that style of game, though. I love
Yeah.
roguelikes, and roguelites are very, very fun.
Mhm.
I haven't gotten into. Yeah, I need to get it. Like, it's been on sale for
Mm.
a while, and every time I'm like looking at buying it, I'm like, oh, should I
It's
get
a-
it?
it's
But
a lot
I
of
do
fun.
need to play it. It looks fantastic.
I
I-
never even like. I want to say I technically beat the game, but I don't think I got like the very far ending.
I think,
Right, yeah.
like, beat the game like a couple of times. I could be thinking of a different game, but I swear you were like,
No, I beat the
probably
game,
got
but
to
there
the
was
end, yeah.
there's more. There's basically the end, and then there's the other ending.
Right. It's
There's
like
more to
beating a
do.
run and the ending of the game are two different things. You have to beat.
Yeah.
You have to reach a bunch of
Yeah.
certain
Yeah.
criterias to get the ending of the game. Similar to like Hollow Knight, where like you have like the final ending, but to get the true like canon ending, technically you have to go
Speaking
through all
of
of the
Hollow
dream
Knight,
realm and stuff like that.
I got that on my Xbox,
You did.
so I can now play it.
Nice.
You
That-
should
that-
after Black Flag.
That
Yeah.
is actually which that has been my favorite game that I
Mhm.
played this year.
Yeah.
I think Hollow Knight has been like I've been kind of bouncing around to like a bunch of different games, especially recently. I've been playing so many different things. We had that stint playing Red Dead has been very fun, and,
Yeah.
and I've been replaying the campaign and stuff. But I
And then
always go
online.
back to Hollow Knight. Like I've always gone back.
Red Dead Online was
That has
something.
been
I uninstalled it because I wanted to play other games.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
big.
this is taking up too much space.
Yeah.
It's so big.
Yeah.
It's
I did play quite a bit of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
That's
For,
what I
like,
thought you were gonna say.
Yeah, I played it for a while. I kind of stopped. I think it was when we started playing Red Dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think I played it one more time, and, like, all the graphics had been, like, set to low. So I was like, why are... Because I didn't realize it set it automatically. So I was like, why does my game look disgusting? Like,
Yeah.
trash. Like, some game from, like, 1995.
Oh no.
And so I looked at my settings, like, why are they all so low? And I was like, oh, because of the graphics card and how it was
Yeah.
dealing with Red Dead Online.
Yeah.
So I got rid of it because we kind of stopped playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hackers in online is just.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Every single like server.
There was none at the beginning when we first
I
started
know.
playing.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then-
it's,
then
I wonder if like new players get like
Get
their
grouped
own,
into new player servers.
something like that.
Probably.
if only they had private lobbies, then it would
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah,
We'd still
Like
be
you-
playing it if they
I
were
mean,
private.
if
Yeah.
they
Oh
s-
yeah, 100%.
did have private lobbies. We wouldn't
I
have
think
met
the
the
reason
prodigy.
they did that.
That's true.
True,
Wouldn't have
the
met
young
at
prodigy.
his time.
Yeah.
His
I honestly
time.
think they didn't do that because so much of it is the Wild West, where
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
could
yeah.
happen. They were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if there was no private servers so anybody could screw you over? And then they didn't realize, the fact that they didn't realize it is annoying, that it made people not want to play it because people were getting griefed and they couldn't do anything about
Yeah.
it. They couldn't go to a private server unless they wanted to, because you can't even like go to a private server by yourself. If you wanted to play the game without other players, you had to play the campaign.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
But
It's
really,
just so unfortunate that they just do not. They have neglected
They
it
don't
since it
care.
came. Like they have had one update, one major content update since
I would
Red Dead
argue it's
Online
better
came
than
out.
GTA 5 because
I think it's much better.
Oh yeah.
I honestly think playing a game that is about the modern world is boring to me because I'm in the modern world. If I was
Yeah.
going to play a game to escape that, why would I want to play GTA 5?
It's definitely not the most exciting. Like it was pretty cool. Like when it first came out because of just the amount of freedom that you have with it.
Yeah.
But like you have almost the same amount of freedom in that game that you do in Red Dead. I would
Mm.
much rather play Red Dead because it's a bit
It's
more
so
of a
much-
fantasy.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
just
that
the
too.
Western. It's like a culture. You have
Yeah.
that culture. It's very cool.
I also liked. I thought it was very fun, kind of going into it, sort of as like RPing our
Yeah.
characters and stuff like that was very fun, and making up a story for our group was really really fun.
It was
Yeah.
very cool.
I like how they have sort of a pseudo proximity chat in
Mhm.
Red Dead Online.
Yeah.
Where if you look at games like GTA, if you talk into the in-game chat, everyone in the lobby can hear you no matter where you are.
Yeah, which
If they were to
very
have
well
a sort
is-
of proximity
most
chat in
effective.
GTA, I think that would be very good for the game
Yeah.
because that would be really fun to drive around and talk to people that are
Mhm.
close by. Like
Yeah.
that'd
Yeah,
be
I
fun
saw-
because that having proximity chat does a very strange thing to games. I think where like if you were to have just a game chat, like an over the game, like over lobby game chat, that kind of like allows for like a lot of trash talk and stuff and a lot of people yelling at each other or whatever, things like
Yeah.
that kind of happen. When you have proximity chat in the game, this very strange thing I think happens where people realize like they get very creative using their microphone, and also
Yeah.
it sort of almost entices roleplay,
Yeah.
in
I
a
would say
way.
that, yeah.
which I think is very cool. Like for example, when PUBG came out, like the only other battle royale really at that time was Arma, was the battle royale like.
Mm.
Or an
H1.
H1Z1,
Yeah,
which
H1Z1,
didn't have any,
yeah.
which did have it did have a proximity chat too, but that one was like a bit. That one wasn't like a directional audio. It was
Right,
just like
yeah.
you hear the dude, and like whatever. But in PUBG, like the volume got louder the closer you were and stuff, and it would also be directional audio and whatever. And people just got very creative with using it, like whispering to somebody if they
Yeah.
see them, like "Hey, I'm behind you" or whatever, and then
Mm.
killing them. It was just very fun because people kind of got into it. But I think games like open world games like that, if you put proximity chat in the game, it is so good
It's
for the
very good.
long term in the game.
Honestly,
Because then people don't have to go through weird backwards ways to make RP servers and things like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because if you're making an open world game like that, like especially Rockstar, they need to put proximity chat in all of the
it
rest of
worked
their
very
games
well
they put
for
out.
Red Dead.
Like GTA 6 has to have proximity chat. If they don't have it, then they're just being dumb.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because that would make
yeah.
it easy for RP servers to just use that instead of having to use a secondary program.
Mhm.
like-
I mean, they still probably would though. It's not the best in-game voice chat.
Right, but
Yeah.
if they were to build it from the ground up understanding that's why what people use it for and making it for
Yeah,
those
true.
people.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I think Rockstar should put out official RP servers. That's what I think they should
Yeah.
do. Changing some features, or just allowing, or just even a certain, you know what I mean? Like maybe you have to be a certain
Yeah.
level, and you have to have an anti-cheat installed, like a specific type of anti-cheat installed to be able to play on RP servers, and like not role playing or whatever in servers. If you get reported enough times, can be a bannable offense on that server, and so you'd have to play a different one. I think they should have
Yeah.
official RP servers.
Yeah,
would
and
be
in Red Dead,
amazing.
like we would be playing, and pretty much everybody else was like doing the classic Western
Mhm.
accent because you
Yeah.
had the proximity chat. You were talking to each other, like if you weren't on Discord,
Right.
or if you didn't have Discord, you'd be like on the mics and you'd be playing, like talking to each other,
Yeah.
and you'd come across other people, and they'd be talking in the Western accent. So it's
I
like
loved that so
you're
much.
actually like meeting like people. like,
Yeah, I
it's
loved
almost
that
like you're
so
meeting
much,
the
running into
characters.
people and hearing them. Like when there was that huge gunfight in Blackwater.
Yeah.
When we went there the first time, and I was
Yeah.
like, wait, these people are actually role playing. We were like freaking out. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're like,
Mhm.
this is so funny.
It was.
And we thought maybe it was just a fluke and it was that lobby. And then we kept running into people and they were all
Mhm.
role playing. We're like, this is awesome, dude.
What was that head shake about, Trey?
I hated that like my mic would only work half the time.
Oh yeah, your mic was
Yeah.
stuck.
Like there's so many times where I was like, this would be funny, and then just
said
doesn't.
something to yourself alone in your
Yeah.
room. No
That
one
happens
laughed
quite
at
often
it.
with
And then
my
you just
mic.
like
Yeah, because like I would mute myself in Discord so people like you guys wouldn't
Yeah.
hear me
Yeah.
in Discord just in case it didn't work. And
Yeah.
it just wouldn't work. So
Saved
and then
yourself
like I would
that.
just sit there in silence and just nothing. I was like, oh.
yeah. I just picture him just like his face going blank and he's just
Yeah.
like,
Do you guys not realize how often
serious?
that happens to me? My mic turns
I
off
know,
so
yeah.
much.
yeah.
'cause
Yeah,
you need
me
another
with
one
my
of these
internet
cords,
lately.
don't you?
I do.
I'll be
Yeah.
talking to you guys and then you guys just don't like
I'll be
respond.
doing the
I was
same
like,
thing.
I
Like,
just
think,
keep
like,
talking to
last
you for like
night.
a minute. I was like, oh, they just ignored me. And then one of you say, oh, what happened to your game or something like that. I was like, oh. And then I have
Yeah.
to turn off my PC because I can't exit the game.
Yeah, right.
Can't Alt F4 it?
No, I can't do anything.
What the?
It like
Weird.
I
Game's
don't
really
know.
buggy.
Yeah, there's a lot of bugs, and they'll never fix it because they care about GTA 5 more.
Yeah.
GTA 6 probably.
Yeah,
That's probably what
If
they're
that
working
ever
on.
comes out,
they're just never releasing any updates.
they're
for
probably
Red
just
Dead
gonna
anymore.
release it as slowly as possible.
I hope so.
Yeah.
A delayed game's eventually good. A rushed game is always bad.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the new Elder
But they do make a
Scrolls
lot
game.
of content for GTA
Whenever
5,
that's
so
gonna come
I'm
out.
thinking
Their
they
updates
still-
team are the updates team is they only have a GTA 5 updates
That's
team.
their cash cow.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously.
one of the top.
is
I think
unfortunate.
it's like the third most played game. In
Yeah,
the world.
Steam charts. It's always pretty high on Steam charts.
Yeah, pretty much anywhere where you can play, it's gonna be high.
Yeah,
Another topic for
Yeah.
us.
it is. Sort of on the are there any games that you guys are excited to come out?
Yes.
Just real quick before we move to the
Oh,
next
I wish
topic.
would
Yes.
check that.
I think your mine are is the same.
Silk Song for one,
Yep.
because it's
Hollow Knight Silk
definitely
Song.
coming out.
Totally soon.
Shit.
Yep. It's coming out.
And
Hope
Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild.
that's right. That comes out pretty soon. It's like
Ooh.
100 days.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh,
Hogwarts
that's
Legacy
true,
comes
yeah.
out
How many days is
in
that, like 7?
yeah, in,
Six. Yeah.
in 6
Well,
days.
6 for regular release.
Yeah,
About a
like-
week. Yeah.
3.
3
I
if you have
think-
early
3
access.
days.
I want to
For
say The Witcher
pre-order.
4 is coming out this year, but it might be
The
next
Witcher
year.
4 is in development, I think.
Yeah, it's been in development.
Yeah.
But yeah, big ones.
I'm very excited
Tears
for
of the
that.
Kingdom, but more than that is Silk Song.
Yeah, I'm very
Silk
excited
Song's
for
the
Hollow
top
Knight
game
Silk
I'm waiting
Song.
for. And I think I haven't seen the Hollow Knight subreddit. They've been like doing some theory crafting that something's coming
Yeah.
because Nintendo has a Nintendo Direct in
Yeah.
February, and
Mhm.
a couple more copyrights were like just put on content in Silk Song like this
Mm.
past week.
Oh, wow.
There's been like stuff going on, and like I think it
That's
was like
sweet.
added. I think it was like put up on the Nintendo Store or something like that. Like you
Silk
can go
Song
to
was?
the it's
Yeah.
not like you can't pre-order it yet, but
right.
Ooh.
The
But
tile's just there.
it's there now. Yeah,
So you think it's gonna be coming out?
I
Like,
think this February Nintendo Direct will give a
Mhm.
release date.
that's very cool.
That's what I'm hoping for, at least.
You know what I'm hoping for?
I have played.
I'm
games-
hoping we can test it
Come
at
on.
PAX.
That would be really.
We don't have a
cool.
schedule yet,
Yeah.
which also segues into my next segment talking about PAX.
Ooh.
Well, we didn't
So-
even ask them if they have any games they're looking forward to, though.
I kind of said.
Oh yeah, The
Witcher
Witcher.
4.
Witcher 4.
Which is
You
about-
got nothing, Trey?
Probably Arc 2.
Okay.
That's me and Trey have played Ark. It's fun
Dude,
if
I
you
don't
play
get
it
that.
right.
I don't get Arc.
If you play it right, it can be fun.
I don't get
I
it.
can understand that, but I just don't want
That's
to play
the
a
problem
game
with Ark.
where the biggest skill issue in the game is just like a dinosaur 300 levels above me, and there's nothing I can do about it.
That's
that-
see
you're
exactly
just-
that you're playing.
I don't know
it,
what you're playing.
You're
I'm
playing-
playing Ark.
No, but like,
playing
what do you, the
PvP.
max level isn't even 300, and you guys are.
Bro, I don't know the actual
Ethan was
levels.
talking about how he
He's-
didn't like
I'm-
the like.
He's
I'm
estimating
over-exaggerating.
because he's never played Trey.
I have played. It's just
yeah.
I played and got one shot by like a T-Rex.
I don't like that the level, the measure of your success in the game is based off of your playtime and nothing else.
I think that was what they were trying to do. They were trying to get you to play more.
I don't like games like that. I don't like games
really
where
grindy.
the
That's
measure
why-
of your success, like
yeah.
you look at games like Destiny 2. Destiny
Mhm.
2, you can do well if you can aim
You
and
do
use
better
your,
if you
your
have
ability is
better
good.
Yeah.
You do
gear.
better if you have better gear
But you
and
can
play
still
more time.
do it.
See, me and Trey don't
With
play
Arc,
it that
you
way.
literally have to play.
Yeah, we don't play it like
We
that.
basically
man.
we
You guys
do
would probably like
unofficial
it how we play it.
PC servers, which have mods, have extra like stats, like boosted stats,
PvP or
stuff like that.
PvE?
PvE.
We do
Ah.
PvP.
Play
We
PvE.
did PvE.
Play versus everybody. So there's other players, but they're not fighting you. They can't
Yeah.
attack
Oh,
you.
so PvP and PvE? Because
There-
PvE is player versus environment.
Yeah, we do
Yeah,
PvE,
environment.
but like,
But
there's
PvP as well.
no, but they can't kill you.
yeah.
So it's PvE.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, that's-
PvE.
yeah.
But there's
said
no
PvE.
player versus
Player
player.
versus
What?
Like players can't kill each other?
No,
No.
they can't.
Okay.
They're there, but they can't kill you.
So, okay.
It's a very cool
Yeah.
game, but you have to play it a specific way if you want to play it how I think a lot of people would want to play it, which is
Yeah.
why I think a lot of people who play it like on like official servers or just slightly boosted are kind of toxic because they put all
Yeah.
of their time
I
into
think
that
I would
because they
enjoy
need
it in a
to.
private server. I
Yeah,
think
that's
I would
what
have a
we would
blast
do.
in a private
Yeah.
server.
If we just played the base game, like there's bosses that you can fight.
Oh, the base
there's
game is
like
fun.
Yeah, there's a lot
raiding
of-
you can like get.
There's a lot of content that I never
It's-
even got, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
scratched the
no
surface
one-
of because I would die to a dinosaur 50 levels above me. There you go.
There you go. But like, there's you probably spawned in the wrong zone.
Honestly, zones.
Probably.
Zones are
I
a big
don't
thing in
know.
that game. If
Yeah.
you spawn in the wrong area, you are going to die.
Like there, you can spawn
That's
in
so
like
weird,
the
though.
mountains
it's
Wow.
very
and
much
just
a
die
survival
because
game.
No, I would
You
like spawn
too
on just the
cold.
shore.
It's not an easy
Because
I
survival
assume
game
that's
if you are
probably
playing
where you're
official
supposed to
servers.
spawn.
You
There's
need
different
to be eating
shores.
and drinking
There's
constantly.
ones that are
Yeah.
harder, ones
Also,
that
I'm
are easier.
talking over a lot.
I know.
We'll cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna cut this as well.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I kind of understand the appeal in Arc. I don't. I think I would like a private server. I would be
Yeah.
down
Oh,
at
yeah.
some point to
That's
try
what we
it.
like.
We would
with stuff.
prefer
But
a private server.
If you guys were to play with us, we'd be playing private because
yeah,
we don't want to
100%.
deal with other players.
we don't want other people.
I'll wait
And
for
we-
Arc 2.
And the
hate-
maps are huge.
I
You
don't
can
know what
explore the
Arc
maps.
is about, man.
The maps are sick.
They're procedurally generated, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
They're very cool.
That's pretty cool.
What is what?
The
At
maps,
least
the
the
maps
maps.
of Ark.
Yeah, there's
Our
some,
favorite are Ragnarok and
like, if
mine is
we-
Ragnarok and Valkyra.
If we want to go like story wise, we go like
Story?
I don't care.
there's a story.
I don't care.
No,
Oh.
the story's not.
How
The
do you
story
not
is
care
the
about
big-
the
I
story?
could tell you, I do not care one bit
The
about
problem
the
with
Arc
Ark is
story.
the story is not the main.
I want to
focus.
tame a big dino.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
I
that's
want
the
to
point
do.
of the
But
game.
like,
yeah.
there's a story along with you taming
Yeah,
a massive dino.
I don't
Like you can
care.
tame a
This
like
guy- this guy-
I mean, I remember it because it was the thing in your arm, and there's the
Yeah.
big beam. I played the
Oh.
game and I saw like the big thing. And I was like, cool, and I turned around and went the
Oh
other
yeah,
way.
that.
I was
I
like,
don't even
cool,
care
I
about
don't
that.
Oh,
care.
the obelisk.
It's literally just
shit
like-
that.
The story is just you get to fight these bosses and go up
Right.
until you finally find out that you're in a simulation or something.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
even
what
know the story.
right, that's what I remember hearing stuff of. Like, because I played it a little bit because I think my friend bought me the like battle royale version of it, and I played it, and I was like, "This is stupid."
That-
and then
they-
I went and
they
played
got
the
rid of
original.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went and played the original one on Xbox with Jake. I was like, "This is cool. I'll try this out." Tried it for a little bit, and was like,
Mm.
"Don't like it," because
Yeah.
we ran into a group of people that,
Oh,
that
yeah,
destroyed us,
that's-
and I was like, "This is stupid." And then I never went back and haven't touched it
Yeah,
since. but
PvP on Ark is.
I just don't like how
Yeah.
clunky
bad.
it is. I think
It
I
is
would
pretty
be
clunky.
I think I would be very excited for Arc 2 because I don't like how unpolished and
Yeah,
clunky that Arc
it
1
was
is.
very unpolished.
I don't think
Yeah.
Arc 2 is going to be that different, though.
I
don't
hope
think so
it's gonna be a
either.
lot better.
I think it'll be a little
it's,
better.
It's
but-
like Arc came out like 2013, 2014,
Yeah.
something
It's
like,
like-
that a while ago.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on Arc 2, but
Mhm.
I'm not. I can't say I'm excited for it because I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would be down to try private server in Arc 2 at some
Yeah.
point if it's
Yeah,
not
'cause
like
there's,
$60.
Like,
And you've got the
New,
main character,
like-
Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't get how that's gonna like
Yeah.
work in multiplayer. Just all
Everybody-
Vin Diesel.
everybody's just
Everybody's
yeah,
running
just
around.
everyone's
That's
Vin
it.
No, I'm
Diesel.
Everyone's
assuming
just
they're
one
gonna-
family.
Yeah, just one
That
big
was,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
one of
Just
the
one big
biggest things why
family.
people liked Arc because of how stupid you could make your
Yeah,
character.
you can
Yeah.
make your character
Yeah.
Oh, they're
so-
definitely. I think that
They've
Vin
gotta
Diesel's
keep
going
that.
to be an NPC in
Definitely,
the campaign.
definitely.
That's what I'm thinking because
Yeah.
there is now NPCs.
There's no way that he's going to be the main character. There's no way you're going to play as Vin Diesel.
Do you
in
think there's
Arc
gonna
2.
have a story?
I think
Oh,
they
I
might have an
think- oh,
actual
there
story
already
mode.
is.
No, but like-
a single player one. I
Yeah.
think they will.
Yeah, I think like they're
Definitely.
adding in like
Which would be cool.
tribes
Hopefully
now
they
that
do.
can tame dinosaurs, so you could
Huh.
Basically,
go against like
yeah.
NPCs that just ride dinosaurs.
So
That's
in
pretty cool.
competition with you. So basically, like
That's
I
pretty
think you
cool.
can probably play difficulties.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Moderate, like easy stuff.
You know what
like
we should try out? We should try out for the Forest.
Yeah,
Keep
this, no,
on
we
talking
need, we
about
need
that
to
a
do the
lot.
new
It's
game
very fun.
because it's coming out
Sons of the
at the end
Forest.
of this
that.
month.
Yeah,
I just
you guys are
have
talking
the
about it a lot.
Forest.
I want
I
to
have the
play.
Forest as well.
Yeah.
I
But
don't have the
it's-
Forest.
I played by myself and it wasn't.
You
I
can play it
don't-
in VR. It's
Oh.
really clunky.
Yeah,
But
I
It
don't-
works.
It's kind of fun. It's really scuffed, but it's really fun because like you're frantically trying to pick something up off the ground when like one of the cannibals is attacking
Yeah,
you,
it-
and
it
you're
looks
having
like
a hard time grabbing
See,
it.
I-
It's really funny.
I would want to if I did a survival.
Seth might be too scared for it in VR.
Oh
though.
yeah, he would just
So,
be too scared
It would
to
be
just
too.
play it.
It would be too spooky. Oh,
Okay.
the cannibals coming from.
Okay.
It would get dark and it would start thundering. He'd be all scared. Oh no!
If I were to play a survival game, it would probably be Green Hell
Yeah.
because that, in my opinion, is just way more intriguing. You
What
can
is that
there's
about?
it's basically the forest, but the building looks a bit better. But the biggest thing is you can get like parasites and leeches and stuff,
Ooh.
and you have to like
infections.
you have
Yeah.
to like check your body and like cure your infections and like remove parasites and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
You
really
can go
cool.
crazy and start to hear and see things as well. So you can like
That's
see.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
there's
you can
like-
like see
yeah.
cannibals that your other players can't see. Like you start to hallucinate if you
That's
get like an infection. It's crazy.
That is very cool.
They went pretty deep into like the whole medical kind of side of
Mhm.
it, of like the effects on like your brain.
Yeah,
and
there's
your
like
body.
different. I
It's
think
really
you can
cool.
like hallucinate on like certain like plants and mushrooms and
Yes,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
That is very cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can like there's a certain ingredient that you can only find if you're like tripping on shrooms.
I did not
Yep.
know about that. Sick.
Habby or Haby,
Yeah, the guy
VR
who-
YouTuber, did
yeah.
a video on it, and you have to be on shrooms to be able to find certain ingredients.
That's
for
really cool.
certain things. Yeah, it looks interesting. But yeah, kind of speaking on hopefully being able to try some of those games.
Yeah.
We're going to PAX East, which is a big gaming and nerd culture convention.
Yeah, we gotta cut all that.
PAX is a big it's a big convention, sort of nerd culture and video games specifically. I believe that the I can't exactly remember what the term what PAX stands for if you wanted to look that up. But it was initially made to be like a video game convention, because there's been a lot of like nerd culture conventions for like board games and anime and stuff, like
Mhm.
Comic-Con, but there had
Mhm.
never been one that was made explicitly for video games.
Yeah.
And so PAX was made actually not too long ago. It was like made in the early 2000s, I think,
That's very cool. yeah.
or like mid 2000s, like 2010.
is cool.
As a like video game convention. And so
Mhm.
I went last year with my friend Jake, my friend Luke, who we met. We met him online initially and met him in person last year, and my wife. And it was really fun. But this year we have a group of 8 of us going. I think 8
Holy
or
fuck.
7. There
Has
might be 7.
Jake been confirmed?
Jake did buy his tickets.
Okay.
So
Cool.
he has bought his tickets. So he's
Or so were you
confirmed.
looking about Luke and Megan?
Luke and Megan are the only 2 that we're waiting on. I don't know if Megan is going to go, but I have asked.
It's
Luke.
just Megan because I feel like
Yeah.
Luke's gonna.
I
go
asked
again,
him
but-
the other day though if he had bought his tickets, and he didn't answer me on Discord. So I do have to reach out to him again and see if he will.
So he's being a little bit of a brat.
He's kind of gone like AFK for a while recently.
Probably
He's sort of,
focusing
like,
on school.
disappeared. Yeah, he's focusing a lot on school, I think, and then
Yeah, that
in
makes-
the limited free time he has, he spends with his girlfriend because he has a long distance relationship. But yeah, I'm very, very excited. I've been talking about it nonstop to my coworkers about it. I'm very excited to go with like a big group. I think it's gonna be like one of the. Like, I've never gone on like a trip with a bunch of friends like this before. I've never got like a big group of friends.
Either.
You know what I mean? Like I hadn't really gone on that many trips before I started. Like in high school, I went on trips with like Jake and Silas and Chris. Like I've done stuff like that before, but not like long trips.
Yeah.
And so like this is kind of like one of my first ones with a big group, like larger than like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited. Also like an overnight thing. Like it's 4 days. We're there for 4 days, so.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Just being there is gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, I went on a like week-long trip. Maybe like might have been only like 4 days with like the 6 people in my high school friend group.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. That trip you guys did recently, right?
Yeah, we went up to like an Airbnb.
Oh yeah.
How was your experience with that Airbnb? I'm curious.
I liked it. It
Yeah.
was really nice.
I know that you guys didn't really handle too much of like the communication and stuff with the host.
Yeah,
or
no,
anything,
'cause
really, right?
I mean, none of us were like old enough to actually rent it without a parent being there.
Gotcha.
But we knew the actual people
gotcha.
that owned or like it was like, you know, one of the kids' parents knew them.
Got you.
Knew like the school district
they
and
were
stuff.
like, yeah, it's okay.
So they're like, yeah, they give us like a discount on it as well, and then they let us stay there. But they knew like an adult wasn't gonna be there, and they're like, yeah, we're fine with that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How old are you guys?
It was like this summer.
Yeah,
it was like
literally
right after we
months ago,
graduated.
Yeah.
So would you have been 18?
Yeah. Not
Did you
there
have to be
were
like
some
21?
kids that weren't
Airbnbs,
18
I believe,
though.
are 21.
That makes
Airbnbs, you have to be
sense.
21 years old, just like hotels.
Yeah.
But,
So did you
the
like
person
not
was
stay
just-
at your hotel for like your
Yeah,
honeymoon or
on my
something?
honeymoon.
Yeah.
And we couldn't stay at the hotel that my mom got for us on our honeymoon because we weren't 21 years old. So we ended up going to another hotel and asking them if we could stay. And the lady's like, if you're not drinking and not having a party, you're fine.
Yeah.
Chill.
We're like, we're not. And we're like, we're here for our honeymoon. And then she was like, you can stay. And saved the weekend because we drove for like multiple hours, like 2 hours, I think.
Yeah.
To
That's
get
A little
down to-
backparing trip on your honeymoon.
Yeah, seriously.
No
I was
hotel stay and
honestly,
sleep in
I
the
was
car?
literally looking up, like, I'm not even kidding, when Dora was inside.
Mhm.
I was parked outside. It was like one of those hotels that has like the little sort of like under
The
the
drive-up
overhang that you
spot.
can drive up, and there's the doors off to your right. I was sitting in the car looking up the closest Walmart and or Target to see if they had inflatable mattresses because I
Oh,
was
yeah.
fully expecting and planning to like look for a field and literally sleeping like under the stars.
Kind of would
in
have
a
been cool
field.
though.
Yeah, I was like,
When
screw
was
it,
that?
We're gonna
That,
go
that
on,
was like summertime too.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it would have been warm.
Oh yeah.
Bugs would have been an issue, but
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
February, March, April, May, June. It would have been June. Yeah, just a little bit after, or July, early July.
so we're in very good weather. Yeah.
Yep.
He's scrolling Twitter.
what are you looking up,
Twitter.
Trey?
He's scrolling Twitter.
I think he's looking for something. But anyways,
I'm
so
seeing
yeah,
if,
I want to
Critical
know.
Role will go to PAX East
Oh nice.
because I have gone before. I'm
Oh.
seeing if they're going this year.
I
Is that
do
sick?
kind of want to sort of like, because we're gonna do another one of these after we come back from PAX, and we might also do one.
We should
at
do one
PAX.
there.
I think
On
we're
the
going to do one
balcony.
at PAX.
Do one
We're
at
gonna do
PAX,
it.
that'd be
Yeah,
nice.
because we have a rooftop balcony at the Airbnb that we're staying at, and I
That
think we're gonna
seems
record
fun,
one
dude.
there. We
That'd
might
be
do
so
video. We might
cool.
try to do video for that one.
Yeah.
I think it would be really cool to just plug in, like, I was just thinking, honestly, for, like, a scuffed way of doing it, just plug in a phone. Just use an iPhone.
We could do that.
And then just sync the audio, just with a clap, and it's good.
Mm.
I was thinking about doing that. I think that would be very fun. And then Trey could edit it.
Mhm. My
yeah.
brother actually is taking like an editing class, so I
Oh,
could have him
sweet.
teach me some stuff.
Yeah,
There you
that'd
go.
be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if you're willing to do that, yeah.
Mm.
That'd be awesome.
Or if
I
you
have
want
free
to do
time.
it.
Or, yeah, or if you just want to do it just for fun. Because, like, I know how we are with ADHD. You just,
Yeah.
like, figure something out and do, and you're like, I'm going to learn this through the
Yeah.
next 2 days. Yeah.
And then you're like, this is boring.
Yeah. or you love it and it's your new obsession.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I kind of want to get sort of like initial, like, what are your expectations? What are your expectations for, like, what you think PAX is going to be like, and a couple of the things that you guys are the most excited to see or do? I kind of want to see if you guys have. I don't know if any of you really
honestly,
have.
I
kind of
have never seen like people really cosplay in person, so I think it'll be really
Mm.
cool to see like video game characters and people like dressing up as like people
Mm.
from like animes and stuff like that. I think it's gonna be really cool to see.
Have you decided if you're going in one or not yet? Because I know you were thinking about
I've
possibly
wanted
going
to,
as
but I
Jace.
haven't really had a character that I've wanted to go as.
Yeah,
Like either because of not looking anything like me,
right.
or because I just don't either have the money for it, or I don't really want to go as that character. Like even if I look similar,
Yes, exactly.
like it's like I don't know that character well enough. I don't really like
Right.
them that much.
Yeah, it's got, yeah.
Huh?
Finish your thought. I don't want to cut you off.
Oh, I was done talking.
Yeah, okay. It's similar thing for me. I wanted to find someone that looked like me, but I liked,
Mm-hmm.
or looked similar enough where I wouldn't have to wear a wig. Because that was like the
Yeah.
biggest thing for me is I really don't want to have to wear a wig.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have to style the wig to make it look good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one less thing I have to do. I can just style my hair however that character's hair is, and it will look better because it's my natural hair.
Yeah.
I'm planning on going Victor from Arcane,
Which is gonna be sick.
which
I think it's gonna be cool.
I hope I can get done. I feel like I'm gonna procrastinate it for a little bit too long, and it's not gonna
got
be
a
as
month.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm.
really have a
You
month,
got a little over a month.
dude.
It's March 23rd, and
I gotta
today
figure
is
out
the
how to
4th
do
of February.
some of his stuff.
Yeah.
So
We gotta go thrift shopping,
we
Yes.
do.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
or I just need to buy something off Amazon and make it work.
Honestly, I thought about going as like
Probably
Trevor
a bit of
Belmont.
both at this
Yeah.
point. I would check to see what
Really
you
his
can get in a
Tailcoat.
thrift shopping.
Yeah.
The tailcoat is something I'm a little worried about, and then I need to
I
do
honestly,
his
if I
leg
was-
brace as well.
If I was to recommend,
Which
I
is,
would
like,
say
completely have
buy.
to make.
I would say buy the vest, buy the coat. I mean,
I think I'm gonna buy the coat, but
make
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
the neck brace
the
I'm
leg
struggling
or
brace.
the
on
leg
my
braces.
coat.
Make those and find the shirt at a thrift
I have
store.
the crutch almost done. I just need to find like a little PVC pipe for most of it, and then finish
Did you
printing
not-
out.
buy all of that ridiculous length.
It's
Yeah.
too big.
PVC?
That is
No.
too big for the
It's like-
STL I found.
So what's
Oh,
Dad
that
gonna
sucks.
do with that?
I don't know. Got
Figure
PVC
it
pipe
out.
now.
I
so.
could
It's
use
like,
it.
how much was it? Was it?
For-
Oh,
It
it wasn't
wasn't-
small. It was a
dude,
short.
it
Yeah, yeah,
was
yeah. That's right. You didn't get the
couple
huge length
20.
of it. That's right.
It was like $20 for everything I got, which I got a big thing and like.
I have
couple
my
connector
dowel
pieces.
that's waiting for when I do a Juzo Suzuya cosplay.
Oh yeah.
Once I finish.
If you need it, Trey.
Once I finish Tokyo
Might
Ghoul.
need it
Yours.
for Echo's weapon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like thick with like a gear on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited for PAX. Just for like convention in general.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of like convention stories, but I've never actually been to one.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be just cool to just be on like the convention floor, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Convention floor.
Yeah, I've never really been
yeah.
to any convention, anything like nearly that big.
Show floor too.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really cool to be there.
It's definitely. I mean, like, it's always so like cliche when people
Mhm.
say this, but genuinely, it is really cool when you find yourself at a convention because you're just with a bunch of other people that accept you.
Yeah, they're there for the same reason
Yeah.
you
They're
are.
there for the same reason. There's like no judgment. Like I
Yeah.
was a little worried about cosplaying and like kind of nervous. And I mean, like I had this. I literally had a lady like giggling with laughter because she was so excited I was cosplaying to
Yeah.
Overhaul.
Yeah.
Like because I
Yeah.
took the gloves out of my pocket and started to put them on, and she started to like genuinely giggle and like point to her husband, like, "Oh, look, he's got
Yeah.
the gloves and everything," like freaking out because I had the little plastic gloves that he
Mhm.
has. Like, this is very funny.
Yeah,
It is very much like a judgment-free zone in a lot of ways. Like, and it does feel like this community. It was so much fun, and also like whenever I go on trips to like other places, like I have like pretty bad like social anxiety when I'm in places that with people that I kind of know that I
Mhm.
see regularly.
Yeah.
If I don't see the people that often, I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you're never gonna
at
see them.
all.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I will not see a single person in Boston, like any of those people, until maybe next year when I
Yeah.
well, like next year when I go, because like I don't
Yeah.
know who's going
Mhm.
with me, but I'm pretty sure Dora and I are kind of trying to turn this into an annual thing, and Jake's probably going to go every
That'd be
year
cool.
too.
Yeah.
Like, and it really isn't that much money. Like if you just budget for it,
Couple $100
don't
bucks.
just don't buy a couple things like 5 or 6 times throughout the year. Don't buy
Yeah,
stuff you
I
want.
barely
and you
spend
have
money.
there you go. There's your money for
Yeah.
packs. Like just don't buy. Just
Somewhere-
just budget for it.
Yeah. Don't buy super
and you're all
expensive things
good.
you don't need.
So like it's really not that expensive, especially because we're so close. We just take the Amtrak, and tickets for Amtrak are so cheap.
Yeah,
They
it's
are.
it's
it's like
a bargain.
What
$30,
are we
$20,
doing for-
$30.
Have we already
Tickets,
paid
like
for those
how we're-
tickets?
Amtrak tickets we can't get until closer to the event, so we're gonna
Oh,
get them
makes
about a
sense.
week in advance.
So what do we still have to? Just the Amtrak. We still have
All
to
we
pay
need
for,
to do
yeah?
is Amtrak. Yep.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
food and
And then
stuff
I
over there.
need
Budgeting over
payment
there,
from,
but
from certain people for Airbnb and stuff because like I don't know who
I paid you.
I don't know who paid it. You did.
I
know
paid
did,
you
yeah.
and
Yeah,
I paid you.
Still, oh yeah.
I
Broke
think
boy
you
over
and
here
everyone
didn't.
else owes me. I don't think church is paid. I don't
Mm.
think.
I don't think Dora's paid, dude.
Yeah.
I can pay
True.
out.
Yeah, so I'm
if
paying
she
for.
if she doesn't pay.
I'm paying for Dora, and
Yeah.
Church told me he's paying for Megan even if she doesn't go
Mm.
because like he
That's cool.
told me to plan for
Yeah.
it, and then he's like, if she doesn't
Good
go,
friend.
it's my bad. So he's paying for
Mm.
it.
He said he would pay for me as well.
I
Okay.
I think I recall that as well.
Yeah, okay.
I
Yeah,
think
he said
so.
if
I
Megan
do
doesn't show
recall
up,
that.
I'm gonna be his +1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let him know. Yeah. We do need to play Jackbox soon though.
No,
Yeah,
I.
yeah.
That's another
Jackbox.
thing about PAX that I'm really excited
Yeah.
for is the Jackbox.
If you guys have a couple bucks to throw me for it, I'll buy it.
like the
soon.
public
But, like-
Jackbox at PAX.
And yeah, it's really fun.
I wanna
dude.
go
It's
watch
just a
that.
computer running with it.
Yeah.
And then all the people join on their phones.
Yeah,
and
you
just-
can-
people sit there.
I mean, there's gonna be people that are playing, but
Yeah.
everyone can join the audience and
Yeah,
actually.
I
vote.
mean, it's literally
sick.
called. It literally is called the Jackbox stage. Like
That's
it is
so
a
cool.
permanent stage the whole like 3 days or 4
I
days.
think
it's
that'll
open.
be really exciting
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I've,
4 days.
I've
the
never
whole 4
really
days.
Yeah.
like when you're playing with like streamers or whatnot on Jackbox. It's kind of like, is that Jackbox upstairs?
No, it's
No, it's
that's
Peaky
Peaky Blinders.
Oh. But when you're playing like
That's
Jackbox
awesome.
on like a
I
stream,
love
it's
that.
kind of like it's like you're kind of a part of it, but kind of not because there's just so many people.
Right.
But when you're like in person with the people making the prompts and you hear everyone laughing at the funny prompts and voting along, I think
Yeah.
it'll be so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's so fun. I mean, it really is so fun. Like, just talking to random people that you don't know.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
so much fun. Like Church and I, or Luke and I, just so many times would just like walk up to people and just start talking to them for no reason. And just feel like talking to us. Like, I just got an email the other day. This was really cool. I was gonna tell Luke, but I haven't had a chance to get in contact with him. I got an email from a dev company that had a demo at PAX last year for this game called like I don't remember. I don't know if I have the email still here, but their demo for their game just recently, like their game is coming out soon, and they have like a open beta or something that's starting
Oh,
soon.
that's very cool.
And because we went to their stage and played it, and it was just like really like. It was a small team of like 7 people that
That's
made
cool.
the game, and so it was this like like
A little
scuffed
indie
little
game?
game, like stuffed
Yeah,
little,
yeah.
scuffed little indie game where
Yeah.
like you played as like a knight or something in a town, and you were basically like gaining reputation and like money,
Yeah.
like doing like little quests and stuff. But you could also PvP other people.
Oh,
And so there was two little laptops that were set up at these people's booth with the game up, and they were in the same lobby.
That's sick.
And so there was this girl just playing it, just minding her own business, whatever. And Luke just goes and sits down at the other one, and he's like, "Where are you? I'm gonna kick your ass." and she laughs, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know." And he's like, "All right, let's go." And they like get all of their stuff ready, or whatever,
That's
and they
so
start
funny.
PvPing. And it was like they go back and forth, and like the dev people are just like sitting there watching, like
They're like,
Luke and this other random person.
That's so cool,
like,
man.
PvP, and then the girl's girlfriend comes over, and she starts to like hype her up, and like,
That's
and she's
so
like, "Yo,
funny.
you use the bow instead or whatever," and like we're just like shit talking each other, and we're all rooting for Luke, and her girlfriend's rooting for her. It was such a good time. But then like when we were done, we were like said bye or whatever, and like
Right.
thanks for playing and stuff. And then we went and we stayed and talked with the devs for a bit.
yeah.
And I remember I was like, it was really cool because, like, as Luke was playing, he didn't check the keybinds or anything. He just sat down at the computer, started doing stuff, whatever. Like, pressed I, oh, inventory pops up. Press M, oh, your map pops up. He goes through, like, all of his stuff. There's, like, a little tab with all of your things in your backpack and then, like, equipment slots, whatever. Very traditional kind of, like, fantasy sort of RPG thing. And he's like, oh, there's this sword and there's this, like, magic staff, whatever. And he's like clicking on it, and he's like, what, like, how do I do it? And he double clicks on it, and boom, it goes and throws into a thing. I was like, it was such an intuitive system.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so interesting. And I was telling them that. I was like, I like watching him play, he literally just tried stuff and it worked.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that's something that's really cool. Like, that's something I love about, like when developers just, like, know, like, they know the community that they're making it for and
Yeah.
stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like, it was just really cool that it was super, like, intuitive controls, and I was like, that's really awesome. Like, a lot of times in games like this, you don't find that. You have to, like, scroll through the controls to figure out
see
what is this,
what does what.
why is it on that keybind, change it to I, like, why is
Right.
inventory on K, like, who does
Yeah.
that, and then you change it to I, whatever. Like, all of this was just so intuitive, and like, because I remember talking to him, I was like, did somebody change keybinds? And he's like, oh no, like, keybinds are reset every time somebody leaves. We reset them. And so like I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And it was like it's just all like very, very well done. And it was polished. I didn't see it lag. Like
That's really cool.
Granted, it's a small little game. It was like
You know what it
very
was
like
called?
I will find it though.
Mhm.
Because I do want to play it because it was very funny. Like just this
Yeah.
like fun little game. The graphics almost reminded me of like the old mobs. Like you remember the old mobs from Minecraft, the ones that we had in the group chat. It almost reminded me a little bit of like that mixed with like RuneScape. It was kind of like first person RuneScape kind of.
Weird.
Is what it looked like. It was really cool. It was like a fun little style.
Yeah,
Like
interesting. I
super
should say.
cartoon and like
Mm.
very low poly, but like stylized low poly. It wasn't like
Right,
PlayStation,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like we don't have a graphics dude, so we're gonna keep it looking like garbage. It's like
Yeah.
they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
It was very fun. It was a cool little game. I didn't play it because I didn't really care that much in the moment, but
Mm.
and we had so many other things we
Cool.
wanted to see. But yeah, it was very fun. I am very, very much looking forward to it. But
Yeah.
What about you, Trey? What are you looking forward to for PAX?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I'm kind of hoping someone like I know goes. Like
Like
one of,
us?
I did run into like
Oh.
3 people that were from like my graduating class that were there.
Oh,
No,
that's
you-
really
I was
cool.
like, whoa.
Are you talking about
what?
like
No, like famous.
yeah, like
people.
Oh, got
content
you.
creators?
Yeah,
or something
I'll
like
be
that?
I've
honest,
seen-
probably not.
Yeah.
PAX East is like because most of the big content creators and stuff live like
In
either
LA.
like
I saw like
West Coast or mid.
there was like a
Texas
bunch
and
of
stuff.
like I was like searching just to see who was going
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I kept on seeing like these big names like Jacksepticeye, he went one year, and
He did, yeah.
Markiplier.
Mm.
And like all these like big YouTubers going. Like I think a couple years ago, Critical Role went.
Mhm.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
It definitely has. It's interesting because like both Critical Role and Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie Markiplier have grown at like similar
Yeah.
kind of paces, which is very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
They have reached the point where like
They can't go.
that
almost.
doesn't make sense business wise for them to go to the East Coast to an
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
Like Critical Role can go to PAX West no problem because it's right there. Like it's
Yeah.
in the city that their business is based out of, where all of them live. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it doesn't make like fiscal sense for them to go to the East Coast and do it, which is really a
Yeah.
bummer. But then you have people like ProZD, who
Right.
who like or Sungwon Cho, who flies from LA because he lives in LA too because he's a voice actor and a lot of times realistically kind of have to be in LA if you want to be an actor or a voice
Yeah.
actor. It's like that's just how it works. All the
That's where the
studios are
work
there.
is. Well, a
Yeah.
lot of
Like-
voice acting is East Coast.
And
but-
now not so much anymore because of
Yeah.
all online stuff. But he flies out. I'm pretty sure. If I'm remembering correctly,
I think he
lives in
was
LA.
going.
But he is going this year again.
Yeah.
He went
It's-
last year, and he had a panel, and I really unfortunately didn't.
in,
go.
in my opinion, it's almost better that no big names go.
Yeah, no,
'Cause I wouldn't
I'm
wanna
stoked
go-
That what's his name? Small Ant is going to be there,
Small Ant?
isn't it?
I thought
Or-
it was.
Oh, I know who
Wasn't
that
it-
is.
who
It
was
wasn't
it?
Small
Point
Ant.
Crow?
No, it wasn't
No.
Point Crow.
It was one of those guys.
Yeah, it
Um,
was Failboat.
Failboat's going, which
But-
I think is kind of cool.
No,
'cause,
I,
like,
I think it's better than no massive names going to be there because I feel like if someone super big or like super influential to my childhood or whatever was there, I would almost feel pressured to try and go find them the whole
Yeah.
weekend.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if no one that big is there,
Well,
it's kind of all right
It
if I
would
don't
be
get
one of
to see
those
the
things
person.
too, where like it would be one of those things too, where if Trey ends up finding a really big name person who's going to be there, we're gonna put that in the schedule for what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
And since we have such a big group this year too, if somebody wants to go to a panel and like if 2 or 3 people want to go to a panel and
We can
everybody
just-
else
yeah.
wants to go look at the
Yeah, we
go
can
back to
split
the
up.
expo hall
Yeah.
and play game, like try a demo for a game, then we can just go do that and then we can
Mhm.
meet up. Since it was such a small group, we didn't really want to split up. Also, it was our first time there, and
Makes
now
sense.
that like most likely what will happen is probably I will be like a guide for one of the. If we split up, I will go with one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Mhm.
I would probably go to the panel with. Say there's a panel that River wants to go to and nobody else does. I would go with him to
Yeah.
be like the guide. to
Yeah,
get him
right.
To,
Makes
whatever.
Or just send him by himself.
And then
Have
then
fun.
Luke would probably be the guide for the other group. But it's like since now that you have a lot more people who have been at least once, we kind of know the flow of things. Though this year's
Right.
going to be a little different because it's going to be bigger. I mean, already I see that it's going to be a bigger one because the fact that there's even any content creators going for signings.
Yeah, it's less.
that's wild. The only
Yeah.
people that were there last year was Acquisitions Incorporated. That was it.
People
That was
are
the
less
only
concerned
person
about
that was
COVID
there.
now,
That,
so
like I
it's
even
getting
I
bigger
don't
again.
even remember the other people's name. There was a name of like some actor or something that was there from like some TV show. Never heard of it. Like the line was decently big to go get a signature, and I was like, cool. Don't know
Because it
who
was the
you
only guy
are.
there.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
literally,
Probably,
there was
yeah.
barely anybody.
See, that's the thing
as
though.
far as,
I
like,
feel like
signings
if
go.
it was a big name, that's what it would be like. Like everyone would be in that line.
Right. If Critical Role went to
Yeah.
PAX East, it would be like, hey guys, all the critters are here. All of the East Coast critters are
Yeah,
here to
exactly.
get signatures, and there'd be a ridiculously long line.
It'd be like
probably
a
out the venue.
3-hour wait to get
Like,
a signature.
yeah.
They
you know?
could not go to they could not go to PAX East anymore because the convention center literally is not big enough
They'd have to go to
support
like
Critical
E3,
Role.
but
It like
Mm.
even then,
E3 wouldn't really be their realm.
yeah, right, exactly. Like they are that big. PAX
I'm-
West is
I'm
huge
hoping, like, just
because of
some
how condensed
big
West Coast is. But
content creator just goes,
Just shows
does,
up.
doesn't say anything.
like he doesn't
yeah.
say anything. They
That'd be
just
really
show
cool.
up,
Yeah.
and they're just
I would
Um,
prefer to meet a content creator like that.
Yeah,
I would
Ludwig-
prefer to meet
that's
a
what I'm
content
hoping
creator
for. I
when they
don't
just
really
show up.
Ludwig
care
did that
about-
for TwitchCon. He
Yeah.
didn't announce he was going. He showed up like with a hoodie on, glasses, and a hat, and just walked around. And if people recognized him, he'd take a picture.
yeah.
That's so sick.
very
But like
I
he
love
wasn't
that.
there to
That's
be
what
there.
I
He just was
want.
there to go there.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be my ideal way. Like, for example, if I was to if I could meet a content creator, it would probably be Poke Walls.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's probably not going to go to PAX East.
Yeah, no.
But what I would also think it would be really cool. Like, I mean, if Doug went, that would be really
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Like, and I could
That'd be so
realistically
cool.
possibly see Doug just going because
If Failboat's
Failboat's
going,
going.
one of them at least.
You know what I mean?
Small
Like-
Ant, Point Crow.
Yeah,
one of them.
like if Point Crow was there, that'd be cool. Because
Yeah.
Point Crow and Doug are the only two that I really watch regularly. I've seen one video of Failboats.
I watched.
But like I might watch a
Yeah.
couple more just to see, just so I kind of know more about him. So if I see him there in the lines, I'll be like, hey, I'll go get a
Yeah, might as
signature
well.
and be like, yeah, I love your like, you know, I found you through Doug and I like your guys' content. I love the stuff you guys do together. Like,
Yeah.
because he was just in that new video, the game show video, and he was hilarious
Yeah.
in it. Like he's very funny. I just haven't really taken the time to like go to his channel and watch him.
Yeah.
Who knows? I might like him more than Doug. I don't know.
You
But-
never know.
Yeah. So for me, closing thoughts on the PAX topic, unless
Yeah.
anyone else has anything to say. I
don't
am
think
excited about the cosplay, but I'm almost a little nervous. I don't think anyone will care how bad it or good it is because it's just a character they like.
Right.
But
Yeah.
personally, like especially in art classes and stuff, I always cared about making it the best I can do it.
Yeah, of
Exactly.
course.
I
And I
had
feel
the
like
same
I've got to
thing.
procrastinate it and not get it to a
to
state
get
that
to a
I'm
greedy
satisfied
goal.
with.
That's the exact situation I found myself in with my overhaul cosplay,
yeah.
Yeah.
and I didn't have a single complaint when I was done.
Well, yeah. Hopefully I can get it done then.
I was just like, hey,
It's just-
is
problem
what
is-
it is. I was like,
Problem is,
looks
I don't
good.
really know what to do with the leg brace. I kind of have to
Yeah.
take images from the show and figure it out and just
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
on it.
I'm scared about Echo's jacket. It's like I
scared.
don't
I mean, if
want
you-
to just go
that-
with some basic green
That's
jacket. I
kind of
want,
easy
like,
though.
Yeah.
No, but like
You
the
just
designs
gotta
on
paint
it.
stuff.
Yeah, but
You could just like
I don't trust my painting skills. I'm probably just gonna give it to my grandmother. Be like, I want this. Could you do that?
Yeah,
And like, cause she can do art. That's
Mm.
her thing.
that's cool.
Mhm.
yeah,
I just need to somehow find the jacket.
right.
Which,
That's same with me and the tailcoat.
yeah.
Do you have another topic or no?
Who are you going
Have you
against?
guys seen the new? I think I'm gonna go as David from Cyberpunk. I think.
That would be very cool.
That's
I
what we
don't
should
know.
do. We should just figure out what we're doing, go thrift shopping, buy the whatever stuff we need,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then just do a cosplay day where we all just start working
Yeah.
on our
Oh,
cosplays
yeah.
together.
Yeah,
you
that'd
paint
be
your
very cool.
jacket, I make my leg brace thing or crutch, whichever one I want to do, and
I'll
then
probably
I have to do a lot of work on the
you have to
jacket.
do quite a bit for you as well.
I have to
yeah.
do like wiring and stuff for the.
Like if we set a
Are
date,
you
we're like we're
making
doing
the jacket?
it.
No, I'm buying the jacket and I'm
buying-
making the collar
You're making-
glow.
That's
There's
very
this
cool.
like electromagnet like fabric that you can buy that like you can
that's
cut
interesting.
into shapes and it still glows
That's
even if you
sick.
cut it because it like lights up the powder that's inside of it. It's very strange. I
like
don't know how it
bioluminescent
works.
or
but
something.
yeah, it's like a bioluminescent
Yeah, that would
powder
make
or
sense.
something,
Yeah.
and it glows with electric current. It's crazy. I don't know how it works. No clue. But I'm gonna put it inside the collar and
That's
I have a
insane.
battery
That's
pack on
cool.
my back and stuff. Yeah, and then I'm gonna 3D print the Sandevastine. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear that on my back as well.
That'll be
Just
sick.
a
And
tattoo
everything else
on
I
it.
basically have. I need new shoes. I need to just get gray high top shoes. I'm thinking about getting like high top like parkour shoes and then just
Yeah.
because then I don't have to
You
buy
have
two
it while
pairs.
we're there.
I just wear those.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the new Prime advertisements
No.
for
Maybe.
the strawberry watermelon?
I
I don't
not.
think so.
There is a really funny one. There's a really funny Prime advertisement that I just saw on Twitter.
Uh huh.
Here we go. So Tease 4PF on Twitter tweeted this. They said, "Who directed the ad campaigns for Prime, bro?" And this was the advertisement.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
Of
That's
KSI and Logan Paul. It was so
That's
funny.
That
I
is
think
funny.
they did it as a joke, but
They
yeah,
definitely-
Logan's standing there taking a sip of the new strawberry watermelon, and KSI is on his knees drinking in a very precarious location in front of Logan
They
Paul.
sort of had to
say the
squeeze
least.
together to get in the same shot.
Yeah. Here, that was the new advertisement for the strawberry
I
watermelon.
feel like
flavor.
that's intentional.
It's intentional
Oh,
for
it
sure.
is 100%.
I just thought that was so
Yeah.
funny when we were talking about Prime before we started recording. When we were talking before the podcast, I was like, wait a minute, and then I was like, wait, I'll save that for the end. But yeah, I think we're coming up pretty much on the end of our time here.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that was fun.
it was.
Obviously, a
It was
little bit of a learning curve for all of us, and
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
included, for kind of getting back into the flow of things. But yeah, I'm very excited. We'll probably record a couple of episodes over Discord, just because it's a lot easier for us to kind of do that and,
Yeah.
and sort of jump in. I do think we're gonna have video for the ones that we do over Discord, because I will record using Streamlabs,
Makes
using
sense.
OBS. And so we'll have like a couple of video episodes. For this one, obviously, we don't have video yet, but we're hoping to kind of implement that near in the future. But yeah, thank you all. And thank you guys for the
Yeah,
conversation.
it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's very fun. I'm excited to do more of these. I'm very excited to do the next the episode at PAX and the episode after,
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
sort of like what we're gonna come back to this episode. I'm gonna take notes for kind of the things you guys said, and we're gonna sort of recap on like your expectations versus the reality of
Yeah.
of PAX. But
Yeah.
anyways, from all of us to you, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.